I'm Shane.
And I'm Bo.
We are your Kentucky Fried Critics.
Episode 5.
Welcome back, guys. Halloween special right now. Or spooky month special. I don't know
Spoopiness.
how to really go about this.
Oh, I'm so happy. Favorite time of year.
We are officially here. You guys know last year we did the same thing. It was time kind of like a theme month, right?
Yeah.
It kind of started our full holiday theme month, right?
Yeah, it was the first
we did
one.
full Thanksgiving stuff, or as much as we could during Thanksgiving, son-in-law and
All that
home for the
stuff.
holidays and stuff. I mean, you can't do this time period and not pick out a couple of holidays. So I don't think we're gonna do Thanksgiving. It was kind of rough to do 4
You know how
Thanksgiving
hard it is to
themed
find a
movies.
Thanksgiving movie?
Certainly one that's enough to be like it's a themed Thanksgiving movie. This year we probably won't do that for Thanksgiving, but obviously we got something up our sleeves. October is still gonna be spooky month.
October's fucking horror movies,
We got
baby.
something special for December. We'll save that announcement for a little bit later.
Wait.
Yeah, you just have to wait. Be patient.
Fun things coming up on Kentucky Fried Critics.
Yeah, always. Much like how last year for Christmas, we cheated a little bit.
We fudged the rules a little.
And so we're going to do the same thing again, but this year for Halloween. So instead of a beer for every movie specifically, we have decided to take the easy way out. Like for our Christmas, they were all just Christmas ales. We didn't worry about trying to find things that fit the right theme. This year we decided we'll do the same thing for October. I'll let Bo go ahead and take over from right here.
Yep, fine, we cheated. All right, you guys win. We cheated, fine. We took the easy route. We punked out on it. We're doing Shiner's seasonal Oktoberfest.
We're gonna be doing all Oktoberfest. That's the real kicker.
That's the gimmick for this month.
Yeah,
because it's October. Get it?
Well, and what better to say?
And it makes us we can just pick whatever movies we want.
Well, and we last year, we did do scary movies for October. They were a lot of ones that we liked, but we did some that neither one of us had ever seen. Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that was a good one. Or the Dead Snow.
Yeah. So I mean, it was good, but this year we wanted to be able just to be like how we did for Christmas, and that's why we had the gimmick. We just wanted to be like, these are some of our favorite
ones.
And so the best way to be able to do that is to not have to worry about the beer. And so Oktoberfest
makes it way easier.
This month is gonna be dedicated. We're gonna do a back and forth run here. I'm gonna be kicking us off with one of mine and one of Bo's. But so there are personal picks. They're things that we think people should see.
These are movies I'm like, we're gonna watch a scary movie. I'm just like, oh, have you seen this one?
I love scary movies. I've seen a lot. I used to be that guy who sat in the movie rental place and looked at the entire horror section,
all the backs of the boxes,
and I rented every cheap, cheesy, whatever you can think of. This pick is not one of my absolute favorites. It's not even one of them I would say is the scariest by any means. It is one that has stuck with me for a long time because of the age I was when I saw it.
That makes it very important, right?
It's Dr. Giggles again. We're not doing any kind of game anymore, so it's not like
you're not trying to make.
If you're following our social media, you already know this. I'm not telling you anything,
and you should be.
I'm not trying to dance around it by any means.
You should definitely be following, liking, and subscribing.
Definitely, good way, good,
right.
Nice, natural way to throw that in there.
That.
But yeah, this is again, by no means is this a October favorite. It's not something I'm going back to every year. It's not one of those. It's not even something I would say.
Something you just remembered a couple months ago and was like, oh, that was great.
Well, no, I see things that just remind me of it. It is definitely, like I said, it's ingrained in my head. It scared me a lot as a child, the first time. You know what I mean? Every time after that, it's probably maybe one of the movies that got me into liking cheesy horror without me realizing it.
I could see that.
Once I got past being scared of this
how terrified you were.
Maybe it's what made me start to see the other ones and not care so much, but I don't know that for sure. I definitely just know that this one
traumatized you so much you were just numb.
Yes,
to everything else.
I definitely know that this one definitely affected me in some way, and that's why I remember
many
it.
Nightmares.
Again, I just want to preface: this is not great cinema. This is not a classic horror movie. This is not like this isn't even like a hidden gem. I'm not telling you you guys need to go run out and see this.
Yeah, they do. Go watch it.
Well, I love
It's
again.
fun.
I'm not trying to talk down about it. I love this movie.
I think this one would be a great mystery science theater episode.
Well, you mean or like what we're about to
Or
do
about
here?
what we're about to do, yeah.
Where we can just really hack into some of the cheesiness
cheesy
and the
awesomeness.
crazy fun that it is. Yes, I mean it is. It's fun. It is hokey fun. As a kid, I didn't realize that. As a kid, like I just saw some of the
Well, yeah, and
traumatic
there's
stuff.
like you're a kid, doctors are scary to begin with, and then you have this
some
mad
traumatic stuff.
giggling doctor killing people. So
It was
dude was scared the shit out of me. Ernest scared me
I was
when
right
I
to
was
say.
little, so
But
I
yeah,
can't say shit.
so this movie came out in '92. I don't think I saw it when it came out. By any means. It was probably
Probably
It was
not.
probably the next year. It was probably on cable TV or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's no telling. Because I was at a cousin's house, maybe on a movie channel the next year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Remember
might be like
those?
HBO or
Yeah.
something like that. Is definitely cheesy fun for sure. It is a '90s horror movie because like '80s horror movies were
Tits
fake,
and blood.
well, tits and fake gore. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like that's what they were all about. Don't get me wrong, there's some gore, but it's not. We're at the precipice where they were trying to figure out how to make it look more realistic. Don't get me wrong, they did not.
No, they didn't. It was
But you can tell that that's what they were.
They were
trying
really
to do,
fucking hard,
right?
man.
But this is also the beginning of the era where there is a lot of comedy hidden in this.
Done.
Some of it more in your face, some of it just straight schlock. Some of it, I mean, but there's definitely a lot of stuff. Yes,
galore.
the one-liners. He's got like action star one-liners.
He does every time
he's
kills
like
somebody.
Freddy Krueger on crack.
It's
right?
fucking great.
Like
And they're all doctor related.
It's pretty good. I think we should just go ahead and address something that I didn't know about this, despite being the one who said we should do this movie. Because I probably only watched it like a handful of times in my life, really.
Yeah.
A couple of times as a kid because it scared me. A couple of times as an adult, like a decade ago or something, when I finally was able to find a DVD.
Somehow.
Yeah. And then now, when I said we should do this. But yeah, so it is one of those movies that I definitely was just not aware about a lot of things of it. And so I was shocked to find out, despite the fact that it is in the intro, it says it right away. This is based on a Dark Horse comic book. And I did look it up.
I saw that.
It is an actual comic book.
Comic.
I don't know anything else about it. If I would have looked at it when I found out about it, we never would have gotten to record this because I would have never watched the movie. I just would have got lost into the comic book because that's the way I work.
You are.
Yeah. So I was just like,
the movie.
I will find out more after
this.
Yeah, I was like, I will find out more afterwards. If people want to know, let me know. I'll tell you guys. I'll let you know what I find out.
Special bonus episode.
Right, something. I'll definitely keep you guys in mind. It is directed by, again, you guys know us. We're not director people, but I told you in all good faith for the new season, I'm going to try to at least
be better
tell
about
you
it.
who they are.
Yeah.
Try to at least do a minimal dive to see if they are people that maybe we do know and we just didn't realize we liked their work. Which is, while filming, recording these for the last year, is something that I have become, both of us have become uniquely aware of.
Like, wow.
Sometimes these people have done a lot of things and we do enjoy their specific
over
work.
Here I'm like, I like more directors than I thought I did.
We just never took the time to realize
my snobby movie credentials slipping away.
But yeah, so I did go ahead and find out this is Manny Koto. He's a director, writer. He did both for this. He has done both for a lot of projects. He directed many episodes of different sci-fi projects, including being the showrunner for Enterprise for a couple of seasons. Gotta love our Trek.
Bacula.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say.
Well, again, that's the perfect melding of my sci-fi worlds, right?
We got like Quantum Leap.
We got Quantum Leap and Star Trek all at the same time. Give me that fucking white swoop of hair. You guys know what I'm talking about if you like Bacula. Man knows what he's doing. I think it's like
the little curl.
Styled it perfectly. We all want to go gray in one patch. Just one little. Yeah, beyond those, though, I do have a couple of other things I want to mention about him. He also just directing, didn't do both, right? As showrunner, he probably did both. He directed some, he
wrote some.
And
fired
then
people.
Again, this movie he did both. He was the director. Well, I'm sorry, I think he did both for Star Kid. Have you ever seen the movie Star Kid? You know, where
where
he
he
gets
gets
the
the
aliens.
suit.
He is the writer-director for that movie.
Right.
I think there might have been
Nice.
someone else with him for writing, so that's why I have him
Well, I
after
mean,
the
when
fact.
we
But
do
so,
that one, we'll credit that guy too. But until then, Manny Koto.
but on top of that, he wrote only writing. But again, the next one, this is gonna make sense. He wrote for Tales from the Crypt Keeper, not Tales from the Crypt, the cartoon,
Oh, the
Saturday morning cartoon. He also just directing, not the writer. He was the director of Xenon, the sequel. You know, the sequel to Xenon, Girl of
Yeah.
the 20th
Yeah, it
Century.
wasn't bad. It wasn't as good as the first one, but it was pretty good. We got a lot more of that weird band that they were obsessed with in the sequel.
Protozoa. I'm sorry, I just had to put
Is
that.
that the name of the band? Yeah, that's right.
But so again, we do love Manny Koto. We wanted to give that shout out. Rest in peace.
Yeah,
He is
rip.
gone. Last year.
Was it that short a time ago?
Yeah. It's been very recent. He definitely did a lot of projects that we obviously feel a large connection to, and we were able to add one. Well, I already had this, but you were able to add one more onto the list of things that you like that he's done now with this one. Or at least I hope you like it enough to be like, I'll say that's one of his good projects.
Fuck yeah, I like this movie.
The cast for this movie, we definitely have to stop to talk about, because these are some huge people just way before they were doing
Way they're
things.
doing anything really.
Now the first one we mentioned, obviously, Dr. Giggles himself. That's Larry Drake. He is a guy, I promise you've seen him in things. He plays a gentle giant and stuff. Go ahead. I see you're dying to say what you know him from specifically.
Darkman 1, 2,
yes,
and 3.
I was gonna say Darkman.
Darkman 1, 2, and 3. He's in all of them. It's awesome.
He's the bad guy.
Yeah, he's the
right. Like a mob boss.
Mob boss dude.
That's what I was gonna say. You know him. He's usually mob bosses, and that's the one that.
Yeah, he's really good at
that. He also sometimes is just a gentle giant, right? Like he's just like, because he's a big guy. He just plays a really kind of quiet, nice heart, like good-hearted dude. Yeah, I mean, but I promise when you see him, you're gonna be like, oh, I've seen him before. But yeah, Larry Drake. Again, Darkman is definitely the first thing that comes to mind. That's the first one I
thought of.
Because I love Darkman, but I definitely, I'm aware it's not like a huge blockbuster hit. Everybody's not aware of Darkman. They should be. It's some Liam Neeson's finest work being Darkman. And again, you don't even really see him.
Yeah, he's got the mask.
He's got it's not the wrap.
The wrap or
best.
Whatever it is.
He's like a mummy with a melted face under it.
Mummy cop.
I had a bunch of Darkman comic books when I was a kid. I love Darkman.
I never read any of the comics.
Oh yeah, you should, dude. They're cool. They're good.
You just start buying comic books.
Yeah. Then though, after Dr. Giggles, we have our main character, Jennifer. I don't want to say Scream Queen.
No.
Right? Like she's not that type of character. She's
Final Girl?
Yeah, ish. Probably closer to that. But you know, like
hero. I'll call it a hero.
Sure.
She wins in the end.
She's just like Sidney Prescott in Scream.
Oh, yeah,
right?
I
like
can see that.
Despite the fact that they did give Nev a couple of screams, because it is called Scream. She's not your quote unquote screaming girl. She's not the one who's just like constantly afraid. She is not, however, also generally the heroine. She's not that type of girl.
No.
You know, she's not
until like the last 5
minutes. She's not like Jamie Lee Curtis in everything except for the first Halloween. You know, she's not like that kind of star. She's not the one who's pseudo fighting back and this and that. She's
not Ripley.
Yeah, she's not. But she's not totally helpless. She's not totally, despite the fact that they set her character up to be totally helpless.
Pretty helpless because she's got like a heart condition and shit. I'm like a whole movie. I'm expecting her to just
die without anything to do with him.
Anything to do with him.
Just coincidentally.
Yeah, she has the heart attack, and then he's like, oh well, I'll just go fix her. Right. No, I thought it was gonna go.
Yeah. The movie takes a couple of really weird turns, weird choices for what it decides to do. Yeah, but again, now that I know it's from a comic book, I don't know. Like maybe this came straight from the comics.
Oh, it might have.
You know, I'm not sure. The next person that we'll mention, again, because if we're gonna keep in our line, I didn't even say what she's from, did I?
No.
Or who it was? I think. I
don't think you did. I think her name's the character.
And so Jennifer is played by Holly Marie Combs. I'm sorry, already I'm going off like the rails completely. But yeah, Holly Marie Combs. She is from Charmed. She is one of our sisters. She is the middle sister. I'm not good with Piper. Maybe I'm not. I watched all of that show. I know you. Yeah, you told me you've never seen it.
Missed it.
You really need to go back. It's on something. I'm sure
really
you can find
do.
it because you watch everything else that the people who are fans of that also
have watched.
Yeah, like you're in the Venn diagram of shows.
Shit's right there.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
somehow still went.
like it is one of those things where the Venn diagram is almost totally overlapped circles, and somehow you made it into the fringe because like most people who watch like Angel and Buffy, well, and specifically like Angel, like like not necessarily Buffy, but like the adult shift into what is Angel, like
Yeah.
because it's on the same network. It was on the same net. It was like Charmed and it were at the same time, same
Like,
network. Whereas in Buffy started on
CW or whatever.
yeah, whereas in Buffy started on like UPN and shifted to CW, right? Like so they had the same like kind of like core feeling from the very beginning. I know. I mean, I'm not trying to say like it is crazy that you have. I'm not trying to convince you though. I was just like
I'm
saying
trying
like,
to defend myself to the people.
oh,
I'm like, it's not my fault. It just
well, yeah,
went
you
over
were
my
young.
head.
You were definitely young. Like, but speaking on Angel and Charmed and how it's crazy that you watched one of these but not the other. Our other main character, as I was like, giddily about to skip over everything I just said, is Glenn Quinn. He is the Irish guy on Angel. I can't. Again, I'm not great with character names like this unless I just got finished watching it.
Too long
Too
since
long.
I've watched
Again, I
Angel.
love that show.
I do too.
But he also
It was on TV the last time I watched
well,
it.
not only that, but the actor who, Glenn Quinn, he died, and he was only in the first 2 seasons because he died in real life, and they had to write his character off. So again, like
right when him and like Cordelia's character were
and so I
starting to
don't. That's part of why it is, like it's harder to remember when I probably watched like more seasons of that show without him than with him. It makes it hard, despite the fact that I do love him. He is also Mark and Roseanne, so like I do know his name of his character in at least one thing. Main reason I wanted to make sure to mention Angel is because he is Irish. That is real. That was his real accent. All of the time, this and Roseanne,
that's man, fake. What a good American accent.
Yeah, it is though. He's very convincing. These are examples of him doing his American accent. He is actually Irish. When he was doing,
wish my Irish accent was
when he was doing Angel. That was him getting to be like, fuck, thank God, finally, really me.
I can just show up to work and talk.
Those are really what I would say are the only main characters in this movie, right? Like, that we've got some police officers, and they talk. They're pretty important. They get their scenes.
They're like side characters.
Well, they get their scenes, but I wouldn't say that they're really that important. They're
not like the usual like bumbling stupid police officers.
No,
well, one of them kind of is.
Yeah,
but he's traumatized. It's not really his fault.
Sure,
he saw it. He just didn't want to deal with it.
I guess. But there are a couple of people that pop up that we definitely want to drop a name for. One of which being Dougie Doug. I love Dougie Doug.
Fucking Cool Runnings, man.
Cool Runnings and like almost
that darn cat when he in that movie.
Yeah, any hip urban comedy in the early 90s, he was gonna be in it because that's the kind of guy he was. He's charismatic, and so like if you wanted it to be
funny.
If you wanted it to be funny and not coming across like almost a little bit intimidating, he was the guy. You would be like, oh, this guy is very approachable. We like him, so we can do like a inner city thing and make sure everybody feels like, oh, it's okay, it's approachable. This guy's good. I like.
He's
this
a nice
guy.
guy.
Dougie Doug's good. He's always
Dougie
smiling.
Doug is always smiling.
Yeah,
and shit.
I love Dougie Doug. Even in this, he was scared. He's still smiling pretty big while he was scared. Give the guy credit.
He's not in much of this. He didn't stop smiling until he got stuck in the back. That was when it finally stopped.
No way you're gonna smile.
Even there at the end, he was cracking a joke.
Yeah. Again, I love Dougie.
Wasn't really a tasteful joke at the time, but it was still funny to me.
We also the dad in the show is Cliff DeYoung. I only looked that up and wrote it down because I know I've seen him in a ton of stuff. I did not take the time to look it up, but he's one of those guys. You know what I mean? Like, now on that note, I didn't get the actual actor's name for this one. But you recognized him from a whole bunch of things.
All the shit that I didn't recognize, I got this guy. Pegged him immediately.
But so I didn't get his name because I didn't recognize him from anything. But he also did suffer the same, like in my head, I kept picturing a different person syndrome. I kept seeing him and thinking of the guy from Twin Peaks, the agent from Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
And specifically like that era him. Because like this dude's got like the jet black hair. We kept seeing him. Right? We kept seeing him from Profile. And so, and this is 92, so it's like Twin Peaks. And so, like, I kept seeing him from Profile and then being like, oh,
no, it's not.
And it would trick me every time. Like, every time I'd be like, it's him. Because it looked so much in Profile. Like,
it really does.
Who's
when
about
you said
to turn,
it, I was like, oh, shit, he does.
When he turns, you're just like, oh,
no,
it's not him.
brought on. It's not the same.
But yeah,
guy.
he's the doctor. He's her doctor.
Dr. Chamberlain.
Which I guess is the town's doctor, but somehow specifically her heart doctor. And then I have issues with it. We'll get into it. I have issues because they say a couple things about the town's doctor, which I feel like could not have been him.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. We'll get into it.
You thought Twin Peaks. I'm watching him and shit.
No, you knew the things he's
I'm
actually
like,
from.
I'm like, why am I
he is not from this.
I'm like, why am I wanting to put him in like a blue pajama suit and shit? And I'm just like, oh, he's from fucking Star Trek. Lots of it too. He's been in Next Gen, Deep Space Nine, Enterprise, like we just mentioned. So maybe that's how he got the job on Enterprise. Kodo remembered him from this and was like, look, I need another guy.
I'd like to think that because I'd love to think that
they just
the world of Star Trek is like that. Like it's like a big club.
It's a big club. You were
family.
in one.
Yeah, you were about to say family. Don't take it back. Let's stick with it.
Yeah,
I'm good
nice.
with that.
I like family.
I see people like Tim Russ. I think family, right? Like he strikes me as the kind of guy that is like, come into our Star Trek family.
Hey, oh, you were on the show, brother.
Right?
He would totally do
Spread the Tuvok love. I know he's a Vulcan, but we all know he has love in his heart.
Right.
Come on. I think on that note, we have definitely tangented off once or twice. But we have definitely covered all the people that we need to talk about, where they are, who they are, if we know who they are.
Now, let's talk about why they are here.
Man, I don't know how to answer that one. Go ahead and just get into how it starts. I did not look at anything to, like, again, like this was a cheap movie. This was not a high budget. This is not Elfman doing compose. I didn't look at it, who's in charge of the music in any kind of way.
They did a good job. I liked it.
You know me, the only one I really care about is what we open with and if it sets the tone. And this set the tone.
It was like really
this,
cool.
Like brooding, foreboding, like weird, flowy kind of. But then that immediately transitions us into what we see while we're opening, which is the cheesiest 90s computer generated red blood cells pumping through a vein
all the way out through to the heart.
It is so bad.
And that would have been fine if we just stopped there and like it like out and then like it's a heart, but no, it keeps going.
Well, you're
then the knife like comes in.
You're nicer than I am. I don't know if I would even said it looks okay. It's pretty rough looking, dude. It's
for 92. I mean, for as cheap as they had it. I mean,
I know. Way worse. Saying, but yeah, no. But the scalpel.
It definitely went too long. They should have stopped and then just cut out to a reel and then have him cut like a fake.
No, they did it for way too long. The scalpel that goes in is so horrible looking,
bad.
It doesn't finally look right until we're totally transitioned out, right?
And it's our dude. It's Dr. Giggles laughing his sweet ass off because he's dead now. Trying to like he's giving a surgery lecture.
Yeah.
And there's people up in the thing watching, and you think for a minute it's like, oh, so like he's a real doctor.
When it first starts, it seems normal.
Yeah,
the observation room is calm.
No.
It just seems like there's people watching around. The one dude looks like he's smoking a cigarette. Right? I noticed I kept seeing like the smoke like twist around the glass and stuff. I was like,
back when you could smoke in hospitals.
Yeah. Well, in an observation room too, of all places, where the oxygen would be coming up to the top,
out of where,
raising to the top of the room. But
they got a big fan up there.
When it first starts, you're totally just like, it's just you think you're like, oh, he must go crazy, right? Like you're like, oh,
like he.
This is where he loses his shit. Yeah, we're seeing him before he loses it. No, we quickly hear from people outside. Like coming in. It's an escape
One dude
patient.
Is missing. Where's he at?
Yeah, it's an escape patient, and so it is what
this
it is.
This is where we get his name, and the guard is like, "Oh no, Dr. Giggles." And
he's
like, "What? It's just his nickname."
Nobody knows his real name. Yeah. Like apparently he's been here. This is like some Michael Myers shit.
Yeah, he's been there for like 30 years.
He's been there so long, nobody knows what his original name was.
IQ. He's like a prodigy, and they go through the door, and there he is. He's got the real doctor all cut up and stuff.
Yeah. And then we also hear them say, upstairs, he's released all the patients.
Yeah, because everybody that was up in the observation.
And so we see them.
Starts laughing.
They are all absolutely
batshit.
Yes.
One lady just licking the fucking glass, laughing. But this is how he escaped, right? He kills his way out the fucking door. He stops and kills the nurse for a second.
Well, before we even get there, the nurse. So Well, that's what I was gonna say. Before we start to leave the building, that's the first one-liner. Like you say,
Right?
he's got these one-liners. That's this is the first one. This is what lets you
Yeah,
know
this
the
is the
one-liners.
first one.
He drapes the hands of the dude he just killed
Over the
over
nurse's
her shoulders.
Should have kept his hands to himself, man.
Man, these one-liners are
Oh,
great.
they're all
No,
throughout the movie.
I mean, no. When you hear the first one, you kind of just are like, oh, I wonder if we're gonna keep going there. But again, you gotta remember, this is after we've already had a couple of Nightmare on Elm Streets. This is, like
We're used to the smart
this.
assy killer.
This
by
is
this
a
point.
type of horror bad guy.
Yeah.
Like sometimes the villains are quippy. They've got quips.
And they have wit. They like. I mean, you gotta make yourself fucking laugh while you're doing your hacking.
My only note to myself about when he did the hand thing was that again, if you're looking at this from he's a dude that actually made a decision to do that. He did that just for the quip, just for the one liner,
so he could
because
make
he
that
totally could have
line.
just taken the ring off
And put it on
his
hand.
finger
Yeah, it totally
to trick
would've
her. She wasn't paying enough attention to know if that was the right hand.
He thought of it in the operating room when he pulled out the saw thing. He's just like, I'm gonna cut his arms off. I'm gonna get that bitch nurse who wouldn't give me an extra juice.
Yeah, he does. He makes his escape while everybody else is. I mean, it was genius. Like he knew that letting everybody else free would give him the opportunity to just like walk out, and so he did. Made his way out.
Kills a
kills
guy
another
in his
guy
car.
at the car. I guess it's
waits. He's smart. Waits till he like slides his key card in to open the gate.
Well, I think
and then kills him.
It has to be another doctor.
Yeah, it had to have been.
Well, the only reason I say this is because later on we see him use a car phone in this car.
Right. So yeah, it had to have been.
It's
only
way
a doctor
later, but again, like we don't see him steal another car, so it has to be this one. So who in 1992 has a car phone? Working
Senators.
Working in that facility.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's got to be a doctor.
Gotta be
it's
a
not
doctor.
the janitor, right? Like we know it's a doctor.
I mean, janitor running drugs out the back.
But yeah, so he steals this car to go back home, to go back where it all started from.
More high,
out in the middle of nowhere, small town with more in the title. I felt very connected.
Yeah, me too.
To this,
I was
right?
like,
it's in the woods, different type of trees. It was a different type of trees.
Yeah, it was different type of trees. They're more.
There was pine trees looking.
Yeah, it looked like they were more out westy.
Yeah, because again, like they looked very much. They were Christmas tree esque shape, right? So they were pine trees. We are not in a pine forest, so that's my main thing. We are definitely
in a hardwood forest.
Yes, we are in a forest. It's not that type of forest.
Hardwood capital of the world, baby.
Supposedly, it's one of those things I don't know.
I've never had it verified. It's just been the joke forever.
Well, it's on all our signs and stuff, man. Well, yeah, we are from a place that is also named more in the woods, so I felt very much a connection to this that I probably didn't realize as a child.
Probably it was just more subconscious back then. This time watching it, I laughed. I was like, "Ha!" Basically, Moorhead.
Might have been the reason why I was so scared as a kid and didn't realize it. Right? Like I was like, maybe he could come.
Because the rhyme. The nursery rhyme works.
And maybe it would have, in my head.
In your head, just changed it to Moorhead. Oh, maybe it works great.
Maybe we're unwrapping why I was so scared as a child, like minute by minute as we go here.
It's a good thing I didn't watch this fucking movie when I was a kid. I never went to a doctor again.
So we finally see as they roll back into more high. He rolls in his car and we transition from him to teenagers.
It's summertime and everybody's happy running out of the building. We never really did.
Yeah, well, and it was so strange, this weird grouping. I didn't buy any of these people as being friends with each other.
At
all.
They
didn't seem like any of them knew each other at all.
No.
But then they were just like, yeah, you're my friends. We're going to hang out later, right?
Yeah, we're going to the party up by the point, right?
Except for the two girls. They were not friends. The two slut girls. I mean, I don't want to say that, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's the character. This is 92. Yeah. That's definitely the character. That's what they were. That's the character.
No, I guarantee you in the script, character descriptions.
Oh, yeah.
Mean, slutty girls.
It's probably what was written in what they got handed when they were being cast. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to. It's not what I would call them today. They seem like normal people. Like all of like most stereotypes from the time were very over the top and not true. People are just people. But that's certainly what they want you to think about the girl. Those two girls are probably the only two that are not friends. And they do immediately leave because they're going to hit on the mountains. What are they called?
The Twin Peaks.
Yeah, Twin Peaks. That's what they call them.
So that show had definitely come out by that point because they reference it. And they're twins. These giant, like 6 foot tall, blonde.
I didn't buy them as high school kids.
I didn't either. I was like, no, those dudes are in their 20s.
Although that being said, Holly Marie Combs might be the only one of the people that we
It's
see as like main
probably.
teenagers here that I buy as a
Yeah.
teen. I don't even buy Glenn Quinn necessarily.
No, not
Like
really.
maybe 20, so not far off of teenager, but I don't buy him as finishing high school. And I don't even think any of these people necessarily graduated high school. You know, they're not treating it like it was
It's
their last day
graduation,
ever.
yeah,
They're treating it like it was the last day this
of
year,
school. So they're
right?
going back for their junior year.
Or
I just
something,
got
right?
my license.
Well,
You're
they
25.
right, so that's what I mean, like, none of them necessarily like, Dougie Doug definitely
Yeah,
didn't
no,
look like he
definitely.
was
He
a
was
junior in high school either. Uh, Holly Marie Combs, though, she definitely did, our main Jennifer. Um, Also, I found out she was apparently up against, Jennifer Aniston and
hey.
someone else for the role, which makes sense because this is also the era that Jennifer Aniston did Leprechaun,
Yeah.
and so, like, she was doing these type of
You think
movies.
she turned it down because she'd already done a horror movie?
No, I don't think she turned it down. I think
Oh, okay.
she didn't get the part. Yeah, she wasn't big enough. 90 again, it's 92. She wasn't big enough to turn down anything.
Yeah, not yet.
If
Just a
yeah,
couple more
yeah,
years.
if they offered it to her, she would have taken it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
This is a lot more of a Holly Marie Combs beat those people out
I
for the
don't feel
part.
like it would have changed the
Oh, no.
movie
The
much.
character type is the same, and again, like, I mean,
It's not like
none of this was
it's
none
not,
of
not like casting Steve Buscemi for Tim Roth in
well,
Four Rooms.
yes,
That's a
yeah.
drastically
Well,
different
and
movie
yeah, none of their acting was big enough or important enough for
for
it
it
to
to
matter,
matter.
right? Like, it's not that type of movie. They're not
Just
setting up grand
be
things here.
scared.
Yeah. As long as you can convincingly make me think you're scared,
Act like your chest hurts. You good at that?
then we're gonna be
Okay.
okay. Once we see the group of teenagers disperse, though, because it quickly happens. The
Yeah.
two girls are the first. Then the rest of them are like, "We're gonna meet up later,
Yeah,
right? We're gonna
Dougie
talk
Doug and
to
his
you."
boys are like, we were going to go on an expedition.
Trotter,
Trotter.
yeah, right. Trotter
What
and
was the
Stu.
other Stu? I was going to say, what's the other fucker's name?
Which Stu was the oldest looking one of the bunch.
He was.
He looked like 35.
He did.
Like Stu,
He
I
looked
was
like he looked like a 30-year-old man, like still
oh,
trying to
I
like
was.
show up at the party for the high school kids.
He's the undercover cop, where it's
Right?
like we all know you are, but we just let you think we don't know,
Hello, fellow kids.
right? Like it.
Where are the drugs at today?
When you see Stu, if you go watch the movie, you'll know what we're talking about. That dude was.
And they did everything they could to
Oh
try
no,
and make him
he
look
put the
as young.
backwards hat
The
on.
backward hat, the like weird curly
He got to be
bangs.
the one that was the obnoxious, like kind of like I'm so cool,
Yeah.
like to overplay that like, he's young, and it's like no, he's not. He's hip.
He drives the douche Jeep.
Yes.
Standard
top
issue.
down all the time.
Up, standard issue.
Yeah, it was.
But he looked like their older cousin.
Come and hang out for
coming
the
and hang
summer
out
or
with
something.
him.
Yeah, so Trotter and Stu and their girls, they're going together right now. They're all off, but they tell the Jennifer that we'll all meet up later.
Yep,
right
up at Breeder's Point.
Yeah, and so they all do that. Jen and Max go their own way, but Max is dropping Jennifer off at a hospital appointment, doctor appointment.
Yeah, she has to go to the doctor because she's got a bad heart.
Well, we immediately we find that out right away, and I'm glad we do. I'm glad they didn't like try to
Drag
prolong it out. Like we find out right out the gate.
This
She's
is where
got
we
a
get
bad
Star
heart.
Trek man.
Yeah,
Dr. Chamberlain.
A small town doctor that is somehow like he is her primary doctor.
Heart doctor. And the guy who's going to do the surgery if it happens.
But he is a small again, this is
he's just a small
I
town.
will attest to the fact
a small town country doctor.
I will attest to the fact that this town looks roughly the size of our town. And we like to give it a lot of shit for being small. It is technically on the larger side of that type of thing and growing. We are surrounded by super small towns, though.
Yeah.
But we are still not big enough to say I've got a heart surgeon.
No, you gotta go to Lexington for that.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a pretty nice hospital if you get shot or in a car
Yeah,
accident.
no, I mean, it's definitely better than, again, a lot of
Yeah.
the surrounding
But
areas.
this guy is just like working out of his house.
Essentially. And they're telling us he is the guy who's her primary heart care provider. No.
He's got a surgery table down in the basement.
Well, we see that's the thing at all of
Apparently,
these
a thing
doctors
these guys
in this
do.
movie.
His is probably way nicer, I'm sure.
Well, it's just because it's newer. Remember the
Yeah,
other
he's
one's
got
from
all
the
the
50s. We gotta wait. It'll make more sense, I promise. We find out she's got a heart defect. He then tells us she's not allowed to have caffeine. She's not allowed to drink.
No coffee, no tea,
She
no
can't have
alcohol.
sex, essentially.
Yeah,
She can't
no
do anything
strenuous activity.
Yes. And so you're just like, wow, she's a
And it's
teenager.
the beginning of summer.
And she's a teenager that can do nothing. Well, but again, that like if her heart's that bad, it's not even like that's new. Like she's just always not been able to do. It's not like we
Right.
heard him tell her that, and it's the first day she's ever gotten told she can't do those things. That was definitely a conversation like, you're not supposed to. I want to
Yeah.
remind you,
I'm gonna
please do
try and
not.
do it anyway.
Yeah, like again, well, it's a teenager. You
Yeah.
have to tell. You can't trust telling them once, and they're gonna do it. You have to. Even as a doctor who's a third party, not
Right.
related,
As soon
that
as
you.
he says it, he's like, "No one's listening
I'm
to
gonna have to
me."
say this 18 more times.
Yep, she's gonna
Uh,
forget. She immediately forgot already.
I would say she did. Or not immediately, but she definitely like within hours.
Yeah,
Because
within hours. Yeah,
this whole
because
movie takes place in like
like
a night,
a night,
and so like within a couple of hours, she's throwing caution to the wind and doesn't
sitting there
care
drinking
anything
wine.
about this. Yeah, we don't want to jump too
That's not.
far. Yeah,
That's still about an
she
hour
plays
from.
it good. She's our good girl for a long time.
Yeah.
She does not immediately start drinking. When she leaves the doctor, she gets to go home. We see the dilapidated house. This is the house where Dr. Giggles slid off to earlier,
Yeah, this
right?
is his childhood home where his daddy lived, Dr. Rendell.
Yes. Evan Rendell, because
Evan
he is
Rendell.
junior.
Yeah. Did you see
Which they only
they
do.
carved it into the
He carved it
door.
into the glass, and I think one of the cops says it in passing, but he says it in a way where it could just be like, you always call someone who you don't know the name of kid
Yeah.
junior, like, oh,
We don't
junior
actually.
there,
That was a
right?
good point. Could not be Evan. Could just be what we're calling him because his
No,
dad
but
was
the
Evan.
sign was carved, so it's
So yeah, I know. Yeah, he
no,
definitely
that one
did
was,
that.
and that he did that. So yeah, no, he is definitely Evan Jr.
Yeah, I just proved my own theory with one word.
Yeah. But yeah, like the cop was the one where it's like if that was supposed to help us know, it didn't technically
Yeah.
help because that is a turn of phrase that doesn't necessarily mean like actually his name is also Evan
So you were right. Good guess.
Rendell.
Must be
Remember, it
some-
has to be Rendell because it has to rhyme
Mhm.
because this is the kind of movie where we get one of those. Very
We
shortly,
get
we'll
a
hear the
fucking
teenagers doing
nursery
one of these
rhyme.
rhymes. Before we get to that, though, I do have to pause to say, as we see Dr. Giggles, Evan, Junior, whatever you want to call
I
him.
just called him Giggles.
Yeah. When we see him breaking into this office in the basement,
They're a very, very nice actual like sheetrock wall.
it was like very nice. Like someone spent a
Someone
lot of like
some money on this. It wasn't just they just went and tacked up some boards and
yeah,
closed off the
so
office.
we will find out that they tell us a story to make us think that maybe the house was abandoned right then because like they're gonna tell us like dude got stoned to
Yeah,
death and
the
things, like
townspeople turned on him, Freddy Krueger style, drug him out in the street and beat him
so
to
again
death.
if that's what happened, no, why is it
Yeah, why
drywalled?
is there a
It
drywall?
would have been planked over.
Yeah.
If it's drywalled over, they sold this house
Yeah,
to somebody.
somebody sold this house. Or
And
tried to anyway.
and we'll address why that's crazy later.
Kinda
I mean, it's
lie.
kind of
Kinda
crazy
lie,
anyway.
you gotta tell people.
It's kind of crazy anyway. But when we get to address again, I want this to be a surprise because it's a little bit of a shock in the movie when you get to find out there's a shocking factor for why it's insane that they would have drywalled over this and then sold it to somebody.
Yep.
Right now, we don't know. We see that there is a doctor's
Office in the basement.
Office in the basement.
In the basement of a decently sized house.
I can buy everything that we see right
it's
now.
not huge. I could buy that you turn your office into your basement into your office. I
I
can
can totally buy that. That's not a problem.
Totally fine.
We see that there is we don't know what it is yet, but we see the stone walls. What we will later find out is definitely the operation room.
Yeah.
Because we see he's cleaning up in there, right? He's
Yep,
like
he's
getting himself a
ready.
good clean shave. He finds his daddy's suit.
Hey, even his watch too has
The-
like the nice
the doctor
gold
bag,
watch
he
and
finds
shit. Oh,
everything.
he finds all of it.
Yeah. He's ready to go. He is officially Dr. Giggles up,
Yep,
right? If
he
you
is
will.
now Dr. Evan Rendell Jr.
I guess in the parlance of modern movies, right? Like it's Morbin time.
Yep.
It's giggling time.
It's giggling time.
He's officially ready to go at this point. But yeah, so then we get to see the home life of Jennifer, right? Because that's where this was just like a pause because
Yeah,
she
he's
saw
like-
the dilapidated house and they were like,
Yeah,
"This is what's going
she
on
kinda
inside."
heard the
Yeah.
banging and was
And
like,
so
"What's
they were like-
that?" And then just walked on.
So they showed us real quick, but then we get to actually see her home life. Her home life is crazy.
It's a
So
little weird.
She's got a young stepmom. Again, at first we don't know that. Could have been mom. We don't know.
Yeah,
Although
'cause
the ages
what they-
definitely would never have
Yeah,
lined
you're
up.
like, well, that's an awful young person to cast
Casting,
as her
yeah,
mom.
you're like casting was horrible. But then we hear dad, her mom died.
And she's the new girlfriend.
Yeah.
And it'll take some time for her to get used to because he's like, He's like, "Oh, is it because your heart's messed up?" And he's like, "No, it's her."
Right, well, you wanna be
Like, like
"No, it's because
you're,
she's my age,
yeah, she's
dad."
like 2 years older than me, Dad. That's a little weird.
She talks to dad, she tells him and again, I'm glad she tells him because we didn't really see this thing,
Yeah, the heart monitor
but
thing.
she
She's
is
like,
now hooked
I
up with
got a
this
new accessory.
full monitor thing, and for this is 92, so this isn't going somewhere. This has gotta be big enough that it's, like, got the actual
Battery and shit.
storage
Yeah,
device inside of it. In 92, a storage device is not small.
about
Yeah,
bigger than your phone. It was
she was
pretty
walking
big,
around with essentially, like, something the
like an
size of one of
old
those old
Walkman.
tape recorder things.
Yeah,
Oh, well, like, the ones where you would push the button on down here. You know what I'm talking
yeah, I know what
about.
you're talking about. The old like school
Yeah,
ones.
you push the button down here and it
If you
stands
were lucky,
tall.
you could get the cool one that had the little tiny
Yes,
cassette
I
tape.
know what you're talking
I
about.
like those.
But yeah, so she is definitely walking around with some weight on her.
And
It's
it's
because
just,
she's a tiny girl
yeah,
too.
she's
Like, I
like,
mean,
it's definitely sticking out the side of her
yeah,
fucking
so it's one
belt.
of those things where it's like, did you have to tell him? Shouldn't he have been like, what's that in my peripheral that is like bulging out of your shirt?
It's with the box.
This is one of the first times where it gets a little weird because she starts talking about the doctor and he's like, yeah, we're best friends.
Yeah, I've known that guy forever. He's a good doctor.
So again, it's weird because we're like, she needs a heart specialist. He is not only just a doctor in this town, he's a doctor who's always lived in this town.
Just happens to be a heart
Well,
specialist.
wouldn't that be crazy?
That's the best goddamn coincidence ever, isn't it?
Wouldn't that be
My
crazy?
my small town country doctor is the best heart surgeon in the world, coincidentally enough.
No.
Sure, I'll go with it. Fine.
He basically just tells her like, well, we gotta be careful. You know what happened with your mom. We don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't need to be too again. Like right now, they're skirting around it. We
Yeah,
don't
we don't
really
know what happened, just
but
though
we
your
know
mom
something
died.
happened with the mom, and it definitely is related to a surgery because she is super nervous
Yeah,
about
she
her
does
surgery.
not want that surgery.
I don't think this is it's not like a groundbreaking. We can just go ahead and talk about this.
Yeah.
Her mom died under the knife.
Yeah, she went in for a routine surgery and never came back, and
Yeah.
she's been fucked up about it ever since.
Yep. And
And
so
even she says that. She's like, I need to get over it. I'm kind of like self-centered about this.
now I will bring this back up later when the movie does, but like the announcement that that's what it is isn't it's not like important to the story. Like how she died barely matters even too, right? Like
Yeah.
everything is more just about the ailment that she has is what is important to the story. This though is a good transition point for us to talk about his mom because we get to see his flashback. This is when we get the real flashback, the
Yeah.
sepia toned flashback. You
Where
know
he's-
you're getting a
Where
flashback.
he's cutting open the fucking bear.
Yes.
And shit.
And again, this
Daddy,
flashback.
I want to be a doctor.
This is one of those things where again, like this, I like this movie. It's a pretty decent story. It's kind of funny. The pacing is so weird.
It is. It's
because
very
we
weird.
just step into this flashback without
Yeah, because he's
provocation.
Yeah, because he's just like looking through like his dad's
Yeah, he's just
pictures.
at home. Yeah. But there's no build up. Like
No.
I mean, we don't. He
It
just
just
sees
cuts
something.
from one scene over to
They don't
this.
even like look at the picture long enough for us to be like, oh, he's wanting to. We're about to do
It's like
this.
he's
He's
just
like
shuffling
flipping.
papers.
Yeah. And so like we have
Like
no
he's
idea.
looking for something specific, and then it's like flashback.
Oh yeah.
I remember
here we
when I
are.
wanted to be a doctor,
But
and
so-
Daddy was so proud.
Well, and this flashback specifically, compared to all the rest of them, is very much like, well, is it troublesome or is it not? Because right, like it starts off and you see him and you hear the knife and he's cutting up, and you're like, man, that kid's fucked up, right? But then you see it to, oh, his dad's a doctor, and he's like, I just
Yeah.
want to be like you,
Or-
Daddy. And you're
and
like, oh, it's not that bad.
okay. His dad's
then
like,
they
I
show us-
promise I'll help you be a doctor.
But then they show us 800 stuffed
Oh my
animals.
God,
like
that's
that,
where I was
that.
like,
And you're
see,
oh,
now
so
that's
now it's
where I would have
creepy
been
again.
like, all right, there's something wrong with my kid. Come home and your kid's like sewing the arm back on the bear and being like, look, I'm a doc. That's fine. But if you look in, every single one of his toys has been mutilated somehow.
Well, if you realize that you've been buying him extra because he's mutilated
doing
that
it so
many,
often, yeah,
you should probably tell yourself, I think
something's
this.
wrong.
I don't think this is just admiration. I think this is a problem.
That's it. If you don't, man, that's like later when he's a teenager, you like
Yeah.
find him cutting up cats and shit.
Well, like I said, it's not okay.
Good thing he went to an
But
asylum
the
when he was 7.
but
right?
the flashback does kind of it plays it back and forth. You're like you see
Yeah.
the scene and you're like, oh, this kid's fucked up, and you're like, oh, maybe.
But
he's not.
maybe it's not. But then, oh, yeah,
Oh, no, he's
maybe
fucked
he is.
up.
He's definitely fucked
And then
up.
we immediately just snap back to adult him, who's like creepily whispering to himself, "Gotta cure the town.
Because they killed you.
Yeah,
This
gotta get
town
my
is sick."
revenge." It's time
Some
they
vengeance.
pay. Time they pay for everything they've done to you. Like a good 90s horror movie.
Yeah.
Again, now is when we get to see the kids breaking into the house.
The
Again, we
fuck were
know
they
no one
looking
should go.
for?
Oh, it's just to be hidden rooms where
Or-
the kid where he would be.
Oh, so they were looking for Evan.
Yes.
Okay.
But again, they don't know he's actually there. You know, it's not like they weren't looking for the guy we know is standing there. They were looking for, this is a small town and we've got a myth about a dude.
So if we find some small boy bones in the wall,
or
a secret passage,
or again, like think when you're a kid, you tell urban legends, you're gonna still say he's alive. You're gonna be like, you gotta stay away from that place because there is. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I'm getting at. Like, they grew up in a town where they've always told this tale how the kid never died.
This is where we get the nursery rhyme too.
And so that's what I mean. Like, and that's why they're spouting the nursery rhyme, because again, they've been telling each other this since they were 8. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's a part of a rite of, you know, dude, you live by the old train tracks and abandoned train buildings in Clearfield.
They're very haunted. They'll go down there.
That's where I say you can't pretend like you don't know the kind of talk that would be around a place
all
like
been
that.
down there,
And it's
but
all
they're haunted. Don't go down there.
All of what most people talk about is all half fake. You know what I mean? Like when they're like, "Oh, there used to be a crazy guy that lived in them," and this and that. Some of that might be true. The extent to what they tell it is not, right? And so again, it's the same thing for this small town. They know that the kid didn't ever get found, but rumor starts to be, so he's still there, hidden in the walls. Doesn't mean they thought he was dead. He could have been Jason style little kid living out in the woods. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But that's part of the fun, is like, let's go in there. We think he's there.
Rat Man, just living.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's that movie. People Under the Stairs, where he crawls through the fucking walls and shit.
But so that's what they're getting at. Like again, it's part of scaring the girl. Like again, the one girl is right in this moment. The whole point of this was just the guys
get them alone,
scaring the girls.
Yeah.
But this is definitely supposed to be a thing that is done in the town regularly. It's not like they're the first people to go in.
Oh no, there's so much spray paint on the walls.
Well, again, like this is like a rite of passage type thing. You know what I mean? Like it is that kind. Going to the abandoned train building is the kind of thing where you just do it. Doesn't matter how stupid it is. It doesn't matter that the guys older than you actually know it's not as cool. They're going to tell you the same dumb stories.
They're still going to lead you out there at 3:00 in the morning again, with a flashlight and then leave.
As we know, it's 35 years ago is when this happened. So 35 years they've never found the little kid. You get, like, I mean, that kind of builds up to this grand urban legend story that these kids are telling, which has, like you were saying, full nursery rhyme, which is awesome, because that's what lets you know, both from a movie perspective and from an in-movie universe perspective, we got ourselves a really good bad guy, right? Like the writers took the time to write a fake nursery rhyme. That's dope. That lets us know outside in our universe.
Put you up there with Freddy Krueger.
Yes. And in universe, you got, I mean, for these townspeople to do that, it lets us know the level of scary that they feel about the original guy plus the kid, right? Love it. Love it.
Did you write down the...
No, I did not.
I didn't either. Now I'm sitting here being
I'm not worried about it.
I wish I could remember it.
Well, it is technically more about the dad. I do know that.
Yeah, it's about
because it's about Dr. Rendell going to hell. I know that part. Like, that's the rhyme there, is Rendell in hell.
Yeah.
I don't remember the rest of it.
Chopped up his patients just for the fun.
Yeah, or something.
Tore out their hearts and all that other stuff.
Yep. So, well, and it gets even longer. Like, the first time when we hear the teenagers,
it's just
we
like
only
the
hear
first
like
line.
2 lines, and then later we get to hear the Magruder.
The old Magruder, yeah, he's the one that
we get to hear all of it, yeah. But yeah, right now we went so off track. But yeah, this is again,
we got into the urban legends and towns.
Yeah,
and
why again? Because you were just like, I don't understand. Again, they
didn't make it really clear. They're just like, oh, just start tapping on the walls. And I'm like, what the fuck are y'all looking for?
Well, no, the guy says it. He says we're looking for a hidden passage. Maybe he's in a hidden passage. Yeah, he says maybe they're in a hidden passage. Let's check the walls. The whole scene is just to let us know these guys are trying to get extra close with these girls. They're trying to scare them. That's
trying to
really
scare them, get them by themselves.
That's the real point here. Yeah.
Stu even locks fucking
now
Trotter
that
and one bitch in one room.
Do you think that was on purpose? Like, was Trotter in on it, or did Stu do that to the two of them?
I think the plan was to get him alone there and stuff. I don't think Trotter knew he was going to lock the fucking door.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant specifically.
Yeah, no, I don't think he knew that was going to happen. I think it was Stu being an asshole.
Yeah,
because he takes that fucking like pickaxe and just wedges it in the
fucking
door.
throws his shoulder into it real hard too, dude. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, I
he
thought
can't.
he was gonna break his shoulder.
He
He
can't
even
get
makes the
out.
joke like, "Oh, I think I threw it out,
Yeah,
dislocated
God.
it." But yeah, so the Stu and his girl ditch them
Yeah,
after locking them in.
just
Uh,
fuck off.
we see them. This is one of those other like pacing and transition points are kind of weird because we literally see them in the room. Trotter and his girlfriend, she's getting pissed, like, dude, you
Get me
better get
out of
me out of
here.
here. While we see them right now, it is perfectly
Perfectly
daylight,
daylight.
right?
Oh, I noticed it too.
Like the room is lit
Bright. You can
and
see the
there's light coming
sun
in from the
coming in.
window, right?
Yes.
Then we get a brief moment where we see the other people walk out the door and stuff,
Yep. And it's
and
daylight still.
something else, right? I think we get
Giggles.
one of the other
Giggles is
cutaways.
doing something.
Yeah. Oh, he finally noticed them, right? And so
Yeah.
like now's when he's like, oh, preparation
People,
time.
I'm gonna get ready to kill, and I'm gonna get my fancy jacket on.
Yeah.
And
Now
everything.
we saw him get pseudo dress earlier. Now he's getting fully like,
Yeah.
oh, now I get to, it's time to be in action.
Now I get to do fun doctor things.
And then when we cut back to Trotter and his girlfriend, though, the room is pitch black.
It is dark outside,
And it is dark from this point on everywhere else.
For the rest of the movie, it is nighttime.
There is no transition. It's like they couldn't figure out a good way to transition to night, so they just said, it's like, right? It's like they said, well, quick, while they're not looking, it's nighttime.
We cut over to Giggles, but maybe they'll just assume that the guy has been pounding his shoulder into the door for 4.5 hours.
I don't know. It was very intense. Then we get to see our first kill finally, right? This is totally great. Although I want to ask you, what is in the needle?
I don't know. It's very green. It looks like antifreeze.
I thought antifreeze too, but it wouldn't have killed him that quick.
No.
Antifreeze, definitely even straight to the vein. Yeah, like the small amount that would have made him just
like immediately throw his entire intestines out of his mouth.
Plus, I want to say this: so many times in this movie, I expected someone's eye to get poked out.
Right, you were just waiting for it.
With this time, the next time when it's the older lady, I kept expecting. They kept setting it up like someone was going to get an eye poked out. Nope, his eyes are okay.
Because he keeps coming at you with these fucking long needles.
Well, not even needles, like just everything.
The old lady's like a nose scope thing.
There's lots of crazy
thermometers.
Yes, people get killed by some crazy sharp objects in this, and they're all different.
It's very creative.
So he the main focus, he takes out both of the people in the room.
Yep, they're
first
victims.
First kill. They're gone.
The only one we see die is Trotter. He
we
throws the blood
we just
up.
know the girl is gone. There's no way.
Here's another line. He's just like, I'm not ready to see patients yet, but I'll make an exception. And a big long ass needle.
Then we get to cut to the kids in the high school all partying.
Yep,
the cool kids. Did you notice not one of those cars was a jalopy?
No,
not one of those cars was bad.
Super fucking nice.
These are the cool kids.
Definitely.
Like we're talking T-top fucking convertibles. We're talking like
hell. Fucking Max has like a fucking Corvette. Like,
and he definitely seems like a kid who doesn't have a lot of money, right? He doesn't seem like a rich kid.
He built that, man.
I guess
dad,
I don't know.
You know, like
every
that's the
car though, every car
because he wears the leather jacket,
which goes to prove the point of how much of a douche Stu is. He's the only one that's not in some kind of kick-ass, crazy expensive car. He's in a Jeep because he's a douche. They needed to make sure he stood out. So they're just all hanging out at what is makeout point. Like when they first zoom in, you don't know, but then I love this movie for this. Anytime it's supposed to be a makeout session, this shit is hardcore. Like you could almost put this as like the beginning of a porn. The way these actresses and actors are going at it for these, it's insane. So yeah, you're like, oh, makeout point. Despite the fact that our main character they're not.
Nope.
Dude's drinking. Kicking back.
He's trying to get her to drink, and she won't do it. And he turns into a real pissy bitch about it. He's like, because she's like, well, we shouldn't have to drink to have a good time. He's like, well, it's not. It's a pretty good fucking start.
It starts. Yeah, I was like, damn, dude. All right,
let's relax.
Calm down. It's okay.
And then we get her fucking. She's talking about the Ferris wheel shit. She's like, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be over here with the cool kids. Now I am.
And you're like, okay,
cool.
That's kind of weird.
Not really doing any of the things the cool kids would do. I get why, but everybody's out around drinking, having a good fucking time. Corrine and her slutty bitch friend are smoking a joint, and I'm here with my pissy boyfriend because I'm not allowed to have any fun because of my heart. And that's not fun. I get why she just goes home later.
Well, not yet though. We still have a little bit of. We have a little bit of weird pacing time before we get there. Then we cut to her dad and the stepmom talking for no good goddamn reason, right?
Just
It's
because.
well, it's just to set up the conversation for us that they can then hard cut to for no reason here in a few minutes. But so the dad says you got to give her some credit, give her a little bit of time. Her mom just died. I want to focus on this. Her mom just
Just
died.
died.
And she goes, "Well, your wife just died, but you're handling it okay."
The dad's girlfriend, I really
Yeah.
don't fucking like her. Because it's like, that's not a okay thing to say, right? Like, it's not like he was cheating on his wife at the same time with you. It's not like there was some time in between. He's just trying to get on with his life. She's having a little bit more of a hard time with it. And I brought in a chick who's younger. My daughter's going to think that's weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
So get over it. You stuck up bitch. She gets worse later, too. I really don't like her later.
We do need to make sure we point out at some point we do see that a woman heard the noise
Oh,
while
Miss
Dr. Giggles.
Henderson.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Like it cuts around so many times that I'm like, oh shit, do we
Yeah.
even mention Miss Henderson?
She goes and calls the police because she hears the girl getting murdered
Well, and
with
that's
Trotter.
the other eye stab that I was
Yeah.
worried about because she looks in
Yeah,
the
because she's
hole.
looking through the hole and it's just Giggles' eye and she runs off. Cops show up and break up the party at Makeout Point and then they get the call on the
Yeah.
radio. It's like, oh, I bet you anything it's that bitch. We're no hurry. She finds rapists in her hemorrhoid cream.
So Miss Henderson gets she gets dealt with. I know one of the behind the scenes. So you know when they do the tongue depressor shot into her mouth,
Mhm.
and we see it from in her mouth.
From inside.
They built a giant fake mouth, and that is also a giant tongue depressor for it to look right for the camera. So
they did that on Little Shop of Horrors
yeah,
too.
it's
It's like
all
the same
camera
shot.
tricks to make everything look real.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so they built like a giant mouth box to put a
Just
camera
like
inside
the
of
thing
it,
in it.
and then made a giant tongue depressor for him to be putting in, so that way it all looked normal size for the angles.
See, remember when
Practical effects.
I was saying, remember when we used to try?
I knew you'd appreciate that because you love a good practical
I do love
effect.
a good practical effect.
Yeah, she's the one, like you said, she gets killed.
The nose scope, he goes back and he's got the 3-foot long one and just jams it up her nose. I see what the problem is.
From this point on, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the transitions might still be weird. I don't think we do nearly as much like jumping around.
Yeah, no, because as soon as that happens, the cops roll up and then MacGruber's telling Reeds of like, we stay away from this house.
Yeah.
Because of, bad things. And they kind of look around inside the house and don't find anything.
And then we get
the weird cut to we're at the carnival. We're not at a fucking party. We're on a goddamn Ferris wheel.
Oh, the only thing that happens in the house before we get to the Ferris wheel, I want to say, is that it is the first time that we find out that possibly the kid really did survive.
Oh, yeah, because they couldn't find him.
In the beginning, like, even when the teenagers talk about it, they're like, that's stupid, though. I mean, we know that
his
he
dad
really
had to
died.
have killed him or something.
Yeah. But the way Magruder acts when the other cop Leets or whatever, rates, yeah, something like that. Whenever he asked about it, was like, oh wait, no, there is something going on here.
Yeah,
there's definitely something not on board with what's going on.
MacGruber kind of gets quiet and he's like, I don't really want to talk about it anymore.
So yeah, like we definitely gotta address that. It's the first time there's a hint of it.
Mac knows something.
Yeah, for sure. That is definitely at this point.
But we're gonna leave it alone for now. He wants to get the fuck out of that house.
Now is our fucked up cut to the Ferris wheel. Again, we don't know. We didn't know that the Max or the Pit or whatever the fuck they called
their
it,
fucking weird party
name for it was this place, which is not a party. It's a carnival.
Yeah, it's like a fair.
It's it's school just ended carnival. That's what it is. Right? They're celebrating.
There's
a Ferris wheel. Again, we saw it from a distance. We did not know that that's what the guy was saying we should go to.
It's an odd place to move the party.
It is. An even odder choice for us to see them already on the Ferris wheel. We could have just seen them walking and then on the Ferris wheel. Yeah. No, we literally just cut to like 2 shots of the carnival and then them on Ferris wheel.
On the top even. Like it stopped. They're having like a
going on.
She told him about her heart thing.
Well, she says so that way he understands why she wasn't drinking.
Yeah.
Right? So
why I'm such a buzzkill, I'm sorry.
But then on top of that, she says it's also because of my mom. They're in a small town. Right?
Yeah.
We already addressed this. They've been there forever because the dad has been friends with the doctor his whole life. So they've been there their whole lives.
Grew up the whole time.
They're not new to this small town.
Very relatable.
It's not been a long... Like, at first they imply it's been a while since her mom died. But then the dad said, just happened.
So like
And the
a
mom
year at
said,
most.
stepmom referred to just happened. Her boyfriend Max proceeds to react to this like he did not know. Like it was shocking information
You
that
never
her
told me
mom
your mom
died and
died.
how she died. The details I can get, like maybe specifics he wouldn't have known.
Yeah, like
But
how exactly she died.
but he would have known that it was an accident
Yeah,
during routine
yeah,
surgery.
something. Like,
You know,
oh
like
yeah,
he
just
may not have known it was caused by the anesthesia or a nicked vein, but he would have known accident under
under
surgery.
surgery.
And this guy is like, "What? I did not
I'm
know
your
that."
boyfriend. You should tell me things like
But
this.
then she is also talking about it like it happened a decade ago because she's like, "I had dreams,"
They got better, but now they're back.
right? Which implies
It's been a few years.
this
I
movie
had nightmares for a week. I
this
got
movie
over
is
it.
so all over the place. They didn't know what they were trying to
No.
tell us. But
So she's like, I'm sorry, I'm being I need to be alone. I'm sorry, I'm a buzzkill.
Yeah.
And then she goes home, and Dad's getting it. He's a king, apparently. So she's just ruining everybody's fucking night. Throws her fucking heart monitor into the fish tank and shit, and goes downstairs, starts drinking wine and looking through the fucking photo album and shit. Giggles shows up outside of her house like he's gonna go inside, but then Stu and his girlfriend roll up, and he's like, much better target. I love this one because the kid's inside, like she's supposed to be babysitting or something. I don't know, but there's a little kid and he's in there, he's playing Dr. fucking Mario.
Well, and it's one of those times too where you're like, you're almost worried. You know, you get a lot of horror movies where you're like, are kids safe or not?
Yeah, is
'Cause
he
you
gonna
never
kill
know
the
the
kid?
rules until
Yeah,
you
I
get
was
there,
worried
right?
at first. I was like, man, he's gonna kill that kid. Until you realize he's playing Dr. Mario and he's like,
Well, that doesn't even happen until
Like the
we know,
very
yeah,
end.
like we know it's Dr. Mario right away, but we still don't know what his thoughts about it are.
not until the very end
right
of this.
away.
Stu and his girl are gonna hook up, and I think Stu is weird.
Stu, no. We have to address this. Stu is
Stu
messed
is
up.
super
He
weird.
brought his mom's lingerie
lingerie
to make his
Girlfriend
put
wear
on.
it because he's been stealing his mom's Victoria's Secret catalogs.
Yes.
And shit. And he's this complete fucking dumb fuck that doesn't understand how condoms work.
At all. Also finds out it wouldn't have mattered. He drops it in the toilet.
When he gets it, pulls it up, it's got holes in it.
It's got holes
it's
in it.
fucking leaking.
It wouldn't have been useful
You
anyway.
think she popped it?
No, I don't think so. She doesn't seem like it was. I don't think that was a trap.
I'm just saying she handed it.
Although
to her.
at the same time, they both don't seem like they understand how a condom works. And lots of movies do this where they're like, "Guys should go to the bathroom and put that on first." I don't know how you guys might work this.
Never?
That's the logistics that doesn't seem like it would work. To me.
No?
Stepping out of the room and then stepping back into the room.
We haven't started yet.
Yeah. So again, all of this was weird. All of it.
It was. But she gets cold, right?
And so when she gets cold, is finally she's like, "Well, I need to go change." And she's only cold because she's in
this
skimpy lingerie.
weird
I guess
mom
it's
lingerie.
not even. Yeah, it's not even that skimpy or that sexy. It's so strange.
He was super into
yeah,
it.
probably because he saw us. Yeah, we're not gonna. We need to stop Freudy.
Oedipus.
Yeah.
Calm down.
But yeah, so she goes to change the temperature. Giggles comes out, surprises her from behind.
You'll catch your death of cold wearing things like that.
Pulls out
Let's take your temperature.
The giant thermometer.
With like an arrowhead on the end
I was
of
going to
it.
say pointed giant thing. I've got the only cure for the common cold.
Sink. Now leave it in for at least a minute.
Now this is the worst death in the movie, the next one.
Yeah.
It's horrifying.
It's awful. Stu comes out of the bathroom. He's super excited. He goes to crawl up under the covers, and Dr. Giggles is there.
Scalpel.
Cuts his dick off
straight away.
Because the next shot is an aerial above the bed, and just his crotch just
blood
through
everywhere.
the fucking sheets. And it's like, hi, cut his balls off. Oh, he was a douche, but I don't think he deserved that.
And then that's when we get
He goes downstairs, and you're like, he's gonna kill the kid.
Anyway, terminal. And he walks away.
Kid's fucked himself.
That's why I wanted.
He's
like,
too addicted
now here's
to
my
the
question.
game.
Yeah, is it terminal? Do we not know? Is the kid sick and he can sense it? Because later on we kind of get weird vibes like that.
Or does he just know the kid's having a bad Dr. Mario run and he's
Yeah,
about to lose?
Is he saying it's a terminal game?
Yeah, like
there are so many ways that could have been taken where I was like, I don't really understand. I understand he let him live, but I don't understand why why he said terminal.
I like to think that Giggles had a Nintendo in the mental institution, and he got to play Dr. Mario, and he knew that kid was about to fucking lose. He was about to get the game over screen because he's a fucking master. This is where I really don't fucking like Tamara when he goes downstairs and realizes that she was there and left and had been drinking. He's like,
Yes, yeah.
I gotta go find my daughter, and she's just like, why? She did this on purpose.
Well, this is
She's
what
just trying to drive
this
a
is the
wedge
moment
between
where
us.
I immediately was like, yeah, she's too young to be with this guy,
Yeah,
right?
she
Because
is
if she
super
doesn't
immature.
understand, if she doesn't understand why like his daughter with massive health issues is not important right now when she's done everything to mess with that health issue,
and took her heart monitor off, so we
yeah,
don't even know what she fucked
right,
up.
I
Fuck you, bitch. No, I got
yeah,
it in my notes right here. Fuck you,
yeah.
bitch.
But yeah, so now is when we see the conversation from from Max when he talks to the other girls and they're like,
he's looking for her, and they're like,
no, but you want to go to the main
secret party?
the main party,
It's in
the
the
top
main
secret
building.
bash in the main building. That's sorry, yeah, not main party, top secret bash in the main building. Such
such a huge secret
what
that
secret
we put
bash?
it in.
What's a secret in a main building?
It's hidden in plain sight. No one would ever think we would do that.
Then the next thing that we see is immediately like, what does main building mean?
Fucking band room?
Well, we see that after a minute, but at first we don't even know it means the school, right? Like,
yeah,
we don't
like
know.
we didn't know.
Again, we didn't know they were going to the school fair.
You know, the first time I watched it, though, I was like, why does this fair have a band room?
It's so again
because they don't make it clear that the fair is like right next to the school.
It's a fun ride you can't think too much about.
Yeah, just watch it and go.
Just like how by the nature of us just trying to remember the flow of the movie, you see how confusing
there is no
it gets.
flow to this movie.
No.
It's all just scenes intercut by cool death.
Yeah. He does after killing Stu and his girlfriend. After we saw this little bit of there's a party and they're gonna go. Jennifer's on her way.
Yeah,
we get to see the death finally back at the house. And the first death, I'm totally okay with.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with it because she said she's going around. It's Tamara.
Yeah, however
the fuck you want to say it.
And Stu was kind of a tool, but he didn't really have to die.
Yeah, he didn't deserve it.
But
this bitch.
This lady is,
and it makes it worse because like
okay
in the lead up to it, she's like she gets her huge whole bowl of ice cream.
She's upset and depressed.
She's crying. I can't believe that my boyfriend picked his sick daughter over me and throwing
Giggles
ice cream
shows
on the
up,
thing.
And then Giggles shows up, doctor's bag behind, and she sees it in the mirror.
Right.
She knew. I love that that's a reference in the movie. Like if you see a doctor's bag, you know your time's up.
You're fucked.
But so she sees it, and then he proceeds to liposuction her, which is a very 90s moment. It made like that was so relevant for 92.
Yeah.
That's when people were doing
Just
that
doing
all
it
the time.
All the time.
What was he really liposucking? Like only that ice cream?
Only
ice cream.
Because he's like, you shouldn't eat that stuff. It's bad
so
for
fat,
you.
So much
fattening,
fat.
and
it was
let's
just
do something
like,
about
you look at her. What fat was he pulling out of her? You know what I'm saying?
It's so gross. I hated this one because it's nasty.
It's pretty disgusting.
Because it starts off as like the white
ice
fat.
cream
and shit.
It's literally the ice cream. Then you see a little bit of fat,
and
so
then
it's
he
yellow.
cranks it up, and then it's
blood
just
and guts and
It's
everything.
like,
yeah. It's a rough one. It's a rough one.
She deserved it.
Yeah, I don't care. As I say, don't mind at all. We transition away from her to finally see this party. And like Bo already said, it's the band room. Main building means main building of their school, which again, I think then they should have said that the top secret party is in the band room. Because main building of a school is like the majority of the school.
Where all the classrooms
95 classrooms.
Which, our high school was
a gymnasium.
Yeah, our high school wasn't huge, but you still have to narrow that shit down. Which hall?
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't just tell me it was inside and expect me to find it.
Right?
In any kind of urgency.
Should have said band room.
This was raunchy.
Yeah, it was.
This
people
this was
fucking
not,
in the floor.
This was not a party.
No, this is an orgy.
There was no drinking.
Nope.
There were no people talking.
This is just where everybody went to make out next to each other.
And then we see it. Max is talking to Corrine, showing her the saxophone. Right? And
she just starts giving it a blowjob.
Well, he's like, then you have to put your mouth on that and blow. Which was pseudo-sexual, but he even said it in a way like to tone down that, right?
Like,
and she was like, oh.
You mean like this?
Now, this is not Max's saxophone, right? This is a school saxophone.
Yeah, it's a school saxophone.
That is so disgusting. How many mouths do you think have touched that?
If it's a school read?
Yeah. Well, even if it's not the school read, she mouthed the whole thing, dude. You know what I'm saying? like, if at least if it was a different person's read, like, if it was a fresh read, whatever, but, I mean, she mouthed the thing. The read isn't the whole
No,
mouthpiece,
but
so
the
how many mouths do you think she's interacted with at that time? It's not like that band teacher went after every class with a fucking in '92, Clorox wipes didn't even
fuck
exist.
no.
This man was not cleaning those daily,
No,
okay?
she gives this saxophone a blowjob. It
Yeah,
is she is
100%.
deep throating this fucking thing.
He says, "I think the embouchure is wrong." I was like, "Whoa, this dude's dropping some knowledge after
Big
watching the blowjob,
words,
right?" Like
man.
he watches this weirdly sexual fucking thing. The girl, the friend is like,
Damn, girl, calm down.
she was like disgusted.
You're
She was
like,
like,
what
"This
are
is too
you
much."
doing?
Then they just start making out,
Yeah,
dude.
because she has to. If she's doing her lips wrong, he has to show her the right way.
Now I
right?
have so many problems with this because I was like, this is again small town.
Yeah.
We see it here in a couple of minutes. This girl is about to tell Jennifer what's going on. But even if that didn't happen, how did this guy think he was getting away with this?
Right. There's like
This is a
15 people
small
in this fucking
town.
room.
Somebody in that room knows him or knows her well enough to
Definitely.
be like, I'm about to go tell this bitch what's happening.
They're sitting over there
They're ma-
talking about
they
it. They're
stopped
like
making out to tell the person
I
they're
am
with. Yeah.
so telling her next time I see her.
Right? I had such a problem with that. I was like, that's not
We
true to
didn't need
real life at
Kareen's
all.
friend being a bitch
Yeah.
and being like, "Well, I'm not getting
It
any, so I'm gonna
didn't-
rat
exactly.
him
It
out."
did not even have to be that, but
That's
that's
all
what
her
we got.
problem was. She was mad she didn't get.
Before Dr. Giggles left her house after he killed Tamra, he noticed he found out.
Oh, he
finally.
found the heart monitor.
Jen has a heart monitor. He knows.
That's our second flashback.
Well, he didn't even see the monitor. I think he saw the pamphlet.
Oh yeah, the
Right?
healthy heart
yeah.
thing.
He didn't even see the monitor.
And then he has his second flashback.
Yeah. So he
literally
knows.
just found out.
He wants to try to fix her. He even
The
said
town can
wait.
wait. Jen goes looking for
Yeah.
Max and Corrine's friend that I don't think we ever get a name for.
Mm.
And the only one who really survives the whole thing of the friends.
Yeah,
that we see in the beginning.
unscathed.
Yeah, unscathed. Nothing happens to her. She is so unimportant that nothing happens to her.
She was like, "I'll tell you where
I'll
they're
tell
at."
you where they're at. They're over here. She walks in just like, "Oh, thanks, fucking asshole. Glad to know after I tell you I have like a heart defect, you jump on the fucking pussy of the next bitch that walks along."
And then Corrine tries to act mad, right? Do you notice this? Like she tries to act mad, but at Jen, not at her friend who's the shit starter.
Oh,
not at anything else.
hell with.
We see that she gets pissed off. This is another one of those crazy transitions, right? Like she gets pissed off, and don't get me wrong, it makes sense because at this point we finally do understand that the carnival is right outside of the school.
Because
and
she
that
goes
they're-
outside the building, carnival.
Yeah. So thankfully we finally understood that. But the transition from like we're in the carnival to we're in the fun house, the mirrored fun house, was
Super
wild,
weird.
dude.
This carnival didn't seem big enough to have this gigantic funhouse mirror maze. I love this scene. This is great.
It's so fun and funny at the
Yeah,
same time.
they're all going around bumping into the fucking walls.
Max
and
is
shit.
trying to get Jen like, no, it's
No,
I'll never do it again.
understand.
It's okay. I'm sorry.
Broke my heart. And then you got Corrine going
for
around.
some
just
reason, why did
hunting 'em
Corrine
down.
even come in?
She
She didn't understand. Like this is officially my point to check out.
she wanted to see how it ended.
God, dude, do you know what I mean? Though, were you not watching?
How much
that?
damage
like, why
did I do? You know,
Were you not like, why did she?
yeah,
do
I did.
that?
I was like, why are
that's
you
so
fucking here?
random.
I wouldn't have chased after him. But she smacks into the fucking wall trying to chase Max.
And Giggles shows up. He's
She's
now in
bleeding.
the mix.
He's got blood.
I love that they
This is
just
my
let him.
favorite.
Well, they let him slide into the mix so easy,
Yep, just
right?
smooth as fuck, just up behind her.
Well, but, we didn't even know he was at the carnival. Like,
No,
I mean, like
the
all of
last
this
we
was,
saw him, he was in the house, and he's like, "Oh, I have to go help the Jin with her heart problem."
Yeah.
Now suddenly he just magics up behind Kareen and shit, and he's like, "You probably just need a Band-Aid."
Again, much like everything else, comically large,
Love it. Because it cuts away and Jin fucking
full head, dude.
Jin touches a wall panel and it spins the fuck around, and Kareen's just plastered to it with the most comically fucking large Band-Aid.
Yes, I love
over
it.
her face, and she's dead, and it's the best. Giggles shows up behind her, and he just looks at her and goes, he's like, "Don't worry, it's ouchless."
And then so she tries to run.
Yeah, she runs.
She shatters the first
Yeah,
one, right?
she falls back through some
One,
glass,
yeah, and
and that
shatters
just happens to be like toward the way out.
And then she starts running, but then still having the same like she's hitting someone.
Yeah,
She's
she
like,
runs
oh,
into
huh.
like Max, and
I
there's like a
don't know
wall
about
behind between
you,
them.
but at this point, this is a shitty traveling carnival,
Yeah,
right?
fuck them. I'm smashing my
Drop
way.
kick that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you probably wouldn't even smash it. It's plexiglass, most likely. Drop kick it. I promise it's not mounted that good,
It's
right?
just
Like
gonna fall
it's
over.
mounted just good enough that you can bump into it. I bet you if you really wanted it down, it would
Yeah, it
drop.
would.
But yeah, so now is when they escape, it gets really wild from this point on, right? This is when it starts to like really build up.
She falls like
She
down
falls
the hill.
down the
He
hill.
catches her, like, "Are you okay?" And he smacks her with the rock.
Because again,
then
like she still doesn't
Yeah,
understand
she's like, "This
entirely.
guy is just chasing me," and this is where she runs into the street and gets hit by the cops.
Hit by the cops. So bad that the Wrights dude busts his head open, right? Do you
Like,
notice that?
he smashed. Everybody got hurt in this except Mac, right?
Well, Max runs up and he's okay, but he's like, "We gotta help us. You gotta help
Yeah.
us." She's trying to tell him.
A
Dr.
doctor is
Giggles
trying to
sees
kill
it
me.
and just slides into the house. That was
Right?
so
Just
weird
slips.
watching him. He literally is just like, you see him side eye them and swoop past the little.
I'm gonna duck out real quick. Hold on.
Because it happened to be right in front of the house. This town is so small, right?
It's only like a half mile wide. Like, it's a really
but
small
then we get
town.
to see the police station, and this was so crazy to me. They're like, "Oh, she's been drinking. She's telling this crazy story. Her doctor is coming." And Max freaks out a little bit at first when he says doctor.
Dr. Chamberlain.
It's
Just
okay.
relax.
We can trust him. I've known him my whole life, or since I was your age. That's what this dude says, right?
Yeah.
That dude is so old. How did he know that doctor? Since you get what I mean? Like,
Maybe he knew him when like he babysit him or
that
something.
if it's not a situation like that, I don't understand what he was saying.
Him and my little brother
that
used
guy
to
is
play.
That guy is definitely older than her dad.
Yeah, he's
and the doctor seemed like he was her dad's age, right? Yeah, this
Mac is gray-headed.
This detective is older than that. Well, this wasn't even Mac. This was like
the chief guy.
The chief
was
was saying
eating,
it. Yeah.
As all he wants to do is just eat his fucking Chinese food. Shut up about ghost doctor people. Everything's fine. She was just drunk.
Well, and again, what gets really wild though is as soon as they say that stuff and like the doctor is like, "I'm gonna go get her and I'm taking her," right? And it's just back to him. They start treating Max like he must be lying to us. It's all him. And I'm like, so Max's story is this, her story was this, but we're all gonna be like, this guy's the problem.
Yeah, you need to shut up and leave. You're obviously an asshole.
I was like, I don't even. But Wrights is starting to realize like something's still not right.
And Mac probably knows something.
Well, he's looking at him. So between what happened earlier and like the faces he's seeing, like the worried look.
Yeah,
right?
And when Giggles was dipping into his house earlier, I swear Mac saw him and was like, "No, I didn't see that. That's crazy."
Well, he knew the first time too.
Yeah.
Like that, and that's what we're about to get. Wrights calls him on it. They go back to the back room, right?
You tell me what's up.
Something's going on.
Something
this isn't as easy as you smelled the rubbing alcohol just like I did. You know it. You know you did. What's going on?
Pulls the bottle of booze out of his locker.
Moon glow.
I like that. That's a cool name. I want a bottle of Moon
Glow. It's Everclear, right?
Yeah, it is. It's some hard shit. Just moonshine.
Some straight grain alcohol, dude.
Fuck yeah, you run a lawnmower around that shit.
Yeah, it was. He starts telling us the flashback story. I love that for some reason. It's a flashback to the same time period as when we see the flashback from Giggles' point of view, but we get to see this one in color.
Yeah, this is not sepia toned or anything. It's just full regular color.
I was like,
I didn't even catch that until you said that. I was like, oh yeah, it's not.
Can we not get some consistency here? What is
we
going
didn't want
on?
it to look like 1930s horror movie.
It's like we're only when we're seeing it from that family's point of view.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because anytime we see something when Giggles has a flashback, it's sepia tone. But yeah, this one is not. This one is totally in regular color. But so we see it. He's at the morgue, right? He's telling us
after the cleanup from Rendell's massacre.
Yeah,
they put all the bodies. In
all the bodies he stole the hearts from are down there. He's like, I had to figure out what was.
It was creepy, so like I had to,
take
pass
the edge off.
Time. So I had my moon glow.
I'm glad I did because I don't know if I'd have made it through that night.
Probably helped him pass out.
He's like, I started hearing some noises. I had to go and inspect it. I think it's funny we have not addressed that at all. The Giggles.
Oh yeah, we
talked
keep
the name
calling
of the
him
movie.
Dr. Giggles. He giggles constantly
a lot
throughout the entire movie.
unnerving. Yeah. And so at this point, though, we see it as the kid. Is this before or after the flashback? I'm not even going to try to look anymore. But you remember, like, when
It's
the
after
dad,
the flashback where the mom died and
the
the
dad
dad
and
starts
him
laughing and then
like
he
it?
starts laughing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's after.
Okay, so there's just lots of this weird, uncomfortable laughing. It was so he's hearing it, and he's hearing some other like random noises, and he's like, "Well, I have to figure out what that is." He goes down to the morgue, and this is the thing. This is the one. This is the why this has been ingrained in my head since I was a kid.
I understand why.
It's a disturbing thought. It's not that disturbing to see now,
It
but
is
as a
now, 'cause
kid seeing
yeah.
this, it was so frightening.
Fuck yeah, it would have been.
But we see that to get his kid out of the house, to the dad did this consciously. He made the decision to hide his kid.
Took his kid
He cut open his dead wife's body
and stuffed him in and sewed him back up. And the
all
kid,
has to be from the back because there's no
there's no scars on the front, so it had to be from the back.
And now we see that,
and the kid sat there quietly for hours.
And this was so disturbing because you literally watch this body of a woman get cut from the inside. And again, it's horrible. It's cheesy looking.
It's a bad dummy.
Yeah. But again,
in the 90s on VHS, you'd have never known the fucking
At 9 years old, through my fingers.
Oh, yeah, I started doing the whole, oh my God.
This was outrageous.
It is a fucked up scene.
He cuts the body open.
And then climbs out, giggling and laughing his fucking ass off, covered in fucking blood.
Mac passes out.
Somehow, with the kid, the actor, he had the teeth that were missing, that made it worse.
Oh, definitely.
Somehow.
But Mac passed out.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. I would have too.
Yeah. And when
not a bit of me would not have.
No, I'd have pissed myself.
I probably would have noped out and not even been in that room.
Right. I would have left it to giggling, personally. I can guard the building from outside, right?
And so he snaps back from this and he's like, so I always knew, but by the time I got up, he was gone.
Everything was clean.
I've never touched this stuff since. Literally that exact bottle and booze in general. You know something's scary if it has scared you away from ever touching booze again. Once all of this flashback story of the past is finished, though, we get hit with the best line ever. Don't go chasing nursery rhymes. Not waterfalls.
Not waterfalls.
Nursery rhymes. I would totally thought it because he says it so slow. It is such a great line, though. Don't go chasing nursery rhymes. Because it gets a call back later and everything.
Right.
Then we get to go to the house. Dad's finally back from looking for Jennifer.
Yeah,
he's trying to find Tamara. He's like, where's this bitch at?
She's gone now, too. God damn it.
Can't keep up with none of them.
Fucking bitches.
They don't understand how this works.
These bitches can't keep him in line for nothing.
He's about to find her, though. Or not.
No, I think he just...
No, he doesn't. But I'm saying, like, that's what you're watching him walk through the house, and you're just like, when's he going to see
When's he going to find it?
Yeah,
doesn't. He just checks the answering machine. Sheriff calls, be like, hey, we've got your daughter. She's not in trouble.
He's still kind of mad because he's like, what is
the
this?
fuck? Why is she down there?
And then the second one starts playing.
Hi, this is your doctor, or new doctor. I'm standing right behind you.
So,
but Dad catches a fucking bone saw right across the gut, man.
I know it's the gut, and we see later, like, bandage around there. He drops like he's holding his shoulder, and I was like, dude, he'd have been fine from a shoulder shot.
Totally fine.
Yeah, he drops, and then is also magically unconscious from this, right? Like,
until we need him.
Which was
enough.
Yeah, very convenient.
He just stays like he's dead for an exorbitant amount of time. Even Mac thinks he's dead.
I was gonna say,
like, Mac comes in right after him.
This is because Magruder left the office like, I gotta take responsibility.
I gotta go do something. I'm gonna go talk to the dad and see what's going on. So he goes to the house. He finds him on the floor. Checks his pulse. Even
he's ready too. Like, as soon as he stands up and he's like, I know what's going down now. This is official. This is the thing that lets me know I was a fuck up back then, and I need to do something about it right now to fix it. Nope, not you.
Nope. Giggles is too goddamn quiet.
He's ready for you.
Sneaks up right behind him, scalpel, dude, right to the base of the skull.
This is what lets us know that this man never got a medical degree of his own, right? Because the whole point of doing it the way we see is to make it A, painless, and B, fast, right? But he missed everything he needed to.
You got to get right in between the
vertebrae.
Because
this man stood up and
looked around,
talked to him a little bit.
You owe me 35 years of sleep.
Shot him in the belly. If the man would have actually known his medical stuff, he would have done this right, and it would have been perfect. Now, this does go to show the next scene that proves he has a little bit of medical knowledge.
Dude, I love this shit. I love the
Where
fucking self-surgery he fucking does,
Oh.
where he gets the bullet out and he's just giggle, cry, laughing the whole fucking time. And
literally
talking.
like gut busting laughing
Yeah.
to himself while his guts have been busted. Oh, stop it.
Physician, heal thyself.
Right. We also go to the police station again, see Reitz and Max.
They're doing some research. They're gonna go chase some nursery rhymes.
I love the callback. It
was good. Max is like, "What are you doing?"
Chasing nursery rhymes. And again, he said it just like this was CSI Miami. This was like pull yes. This was pulling the sunglasses down from the top of your head.
Got the mirrored shades.
Yes, dude. Like it was so badass. You're just like, fuck yeah, right.
Turned into Caruso for a second.
It was good, dude. I loved it. And that they're both like, this town is crazy. They always trying to ignore all this stuff, right? So this is when he puts together the case files, right?
Because he sees the police report from the mental institution.
The fabric that he ripped.
Yeah, the Tara Wood Mental Hospital.
And so he realizes that he sees someone escape there. They thought that guy's age was 42, and then he starts doing the math, and he goes, "Oh, so he'd be 40."
Hey, he'd be about
and I'm
the
like,
right age.
as soon as I said that, I was like, "Well, he doesn't even say about. He says he'd be the right age," and I was like, "So now we're just dealing with approximates and acting like they're perfect."
Yeah,
because he says he literally starts the conversation with 42 and then ends it with he'd be 40 after fixing himself from being shot. And he calls from the car phone that he from this car he stole
from the beginning of the movie,
which lets us know that had to be a doctor.
We're going to see that doctor again here in a minute.
Yeah,
he's in the waiting room. He's one of the first people you see.
But so he does indeed use the car phone to be. Again, this is something that would never happen. He calls the police station
and pretends to be Jen's dad.
Again, they should know who he is.
Because
they're all friends with the doctor.
This is a small town.
But they're all just like, "Oh, yeah, sounds like you."
She's down at Dr. Chamberlain's. He's got her right now. She's fine. She's doing some stuff.
Over there.
Don't worry about it. Like, if this was like a larger city, I'd buy it.
Right? Then, I would too. And now we get to finally see her at Dr. Chamberlain's. This is, again, for a movie that we've followed mostly her for the important stuff. We've not been with her for a while.
Like 20 minutes. It's been a while.
And so we go back to her. She's at the doctor's office.
She's
hooked up. The monitor goes not flat. What's funny is it's not flatline. Did you notice it? It was like really tiny, but it wasn't flatline.
Hummingbird heartbeat.
But so she goes into whatever this is,
and she hollers for the doctor. He comes in. He's like, "Oh, we got to open you up now," and immediately shifts into Dr. Giggles.
This would be
within
terrifying.
A frame,
right? This would be terrifying.
Yeah,
and she does. She freaks out, but then she wakes up. And you get that brief moment of,
oh, good. It was just a fucking dream.
Right? Everything's
the real Dr. Chamberlain's
He comes over and he's telling her, it's okay. You're all right.
It was
all your numbers.
Up until your nightmare, everything looks fine.
Which is, again, insane because she's been drinking. She's been overly excited. She's been hit by a car. Like, her heart should be fucked up.
Like, getting hit by the car should have caused her to have, like, a heart attack or something, right?
Yeah. And then what happens as soon as he's telling her everything's okay? Fucking Giggles out of nowhere.
Stabs him in the back with some scissors.
Bitch, you ain't waking up this time.
I'd get a second opinion.
This time it's real.
Right?
There's no waking up. She's freaking out, rightfully so. Goddamn, God bless.
Fucking Chamberlain, my hero, comes back like a badass with this shank.
I've hated this doctor most of this movie. I'm not going to lie. He's been kind of a dickhead to her, the way he talks to her.
I give him a pass because he was on Star Trek.
But this moment, he makes up for all of it.
Total redemption right here, dude. He fights,
stabs the leg.
We have the sword fight with the reflex hammer and that weird
comically
shank
sized
that he pulled out.
It's comically sized. This is like an elephant reflex hammer.
Like a clown doctor pulled this thing out.
It's very
massive.
It's too much. But it's funny. It's great. And then pulls out the heart.
The
blood pressure monitor.
Puts it around Chamberlain's neck and
Were you waiting for an explosion?
I was waiting for the eye. I was waiting for the eye to pop
I was waiting for some kind of like effect.
Yeah. No, he just dies.
We got veins. We got veiny.
It was really cool.
It was. But it was just I
wanted something to pop.
As someone who's a fan of 80s
horror and shit, yeah.
80s, the 80s
should have exploded.
The 80s would have went for a head explosion or eye bulge for sure. You can tell that this is where the transition from 80s to 90s horror
They're
started.
trying to tone down the gore a little bit.
Well, I read apparently in the 90s, a lot of people making those type of horror movies just got hit hard by the MPAA and all those people,
Yeah.
fucking Reagan.
Oh, you're gonna get the X rating.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
one's gonna see your
And so they had to
movie.
tone a bunch of stuff down that would have just been normal. He's got a syringe that he injects her with. It's to knock her out. I only want to talk about this because this time it's crazy blue.
Yeah,
It's you know, like
it's
we
Drano.
just couldn't have used the same like green from earlier. This time it's crazy blue.
The green makes you throw up your guts. The
So
blue knocks you out.
Like I like that you
There's
said
a
it's
red
Drano.
that makes your toe explode.
I saw this blue and I was like, it's the shit that's inside the barber cup.
Oh,
the barbicide.
The barbicide, yeah.
I was like, it's barbicide. So like
Blue Curacao.
First he's using
real drunk.
First he's using antifreeze. Now he's using barbicide. I was like, what is this guy doing right now? But again,
I mean, those real pharmaceuticals are expensive. All right.
Well, again, the first time he could have done who knows what. The green stuff, it could have been antifreeze. There's no telling, right? This time though, it is just supposed to be something that knocks her out. It is supposed to be some kind of real drug.
He's got to take her back to his underground.
Because he's trying. Remember, he's trying to fix her.
Yeah, he doesn't want to kill her. He wants to save her. Got to fix her heart.
But so he takes her. We cut to Wrights, see what he's up to. Again, at this point, where the fuck did Max go? But they left the police station.
We don't see him again
for
a fucking 20
long
minutes.
time, which is crazy because again, Wrights goes here first.
Yep.
So Max should have been
right behind him, at
or
the very least.
Max should have been right behind him if he was going to this house. But if Max was going on to the abandoned house because they believe Giggles is real, but Max shows up 35 minutes after he gets to Giggles' house, where the fuck did Max go? But so Wrights shows up at her house, right? Finally investigates.
Mac and the dad magically wakes up long enough to tell him a doctor did this.
I love it. No, the way that
dead.
conversation happened was funny though. A doctor. You need a doctor? I'll call right now.
Right now.
No. Doctor did this to me. Well, we don't even see that.
Right.
Well, A, we know that he doesn't die. But B, like, we don't see, he's still like, the scene transitions away with him still like solid up, eyes open. And I was like, huh, I guess they didn't make me think he was dead, but I definitely thought he was dead. Twice now. Twice now I thought he was dead. Now's when we get to see Rindell at the house, right? This is dope. This is crazy. We see that he's been collecting hearts
in a bucket. It's not sanitary.
It's crazy because he didn't find out that she had a heart problem until he had already killed like several of those people. And we now know that he's going to use the hearts to try to fix her heart.
He went back and gathered them up, I guess.
Why did he?
Well, he had to. He had to arrange them all psychotically and pretty inside the waiting room. And he's like, I need hearts. I'll take these.
But they've been dead too long.
These are, they didn't even keep them on ice.
No,
nothing.
Nothing.
Like they're just like in a fucking steel bucket.
But yeah, so he's saying that he needs to operate on her in the back, and there's a room. Again, this is the part where I really want to stress this because this is what happens. We see the back room and her in it, the hearts, and so that's the back room. Then we see Wrights. This is where our splitting stories finally come together and we don't split anymore.
Yeah.
Because everybody's in the same place. Spot. So Wrights shows up, and so Wrights is coming from the other side of the house, right? Like he's coming down into the basement. He's going through the wall that the dude ripped off.
And we see the door the doctor is in, goes into the waiting room.
This is when we see it in the beginning, we see like a tiny piece of it and like a low table for people to sit at. And I was like, oh, I believe that was in somebody's house in the 50s.
Yeah, totally.
This is a full waiting room.
Hospital waiting room. It's like fucking huge.
And like Bozari said, all the dead bodies are here.
All arranged in the fucking just
but
like
again, this is a full square.
Fucking Dougie Doug sitting there holding the magazine dead.
Everybody's facial expressions crack me up in this room. But yeah, so this room is massive, which again is already crazy on its own.
Yep.
But now's when we get to find the full discovery, the part that I hinted at in the beginning where I said, this is what's nuts. That someone sold this house. And we now get to find out that it wasn't that this man ran a doctor's office out of his house. He was running, this is like a whole
hospital.
It is like a 4-room hospital with a waiting room plus a
examination
surgical room.
Rooms and a surgery room, plus like a storage corridor in the back.
And all of this was walled off.
Yep.
Someone lived in this house and had no idea. They
Fuck
had
that. If I was the realtor, I'm telling him every goddamn detail. Look
well,
how much storage you have.
that's like an extra 100,000 square
Yeah.
feet or some
Look at all
shit. Like
this.
it's insane.
I'd have went through, I'd have ripped out all the doctor shit. It'd have just been bare fucking rooms. Like, look at this. There's like a whole world down here for you.
It's crazy.
You can rent these rooms out, right? Cool basement apartment.
While Wrights is taking his time because again, it's huge.
I mean, he throws up when he finds the bodies, and
he has to clear rooms.
You can't just run down the
and
hallway.
he doesn't even know where she's at to start with.
Gotta check.
So while that's going on, we get to hear from Giggles. He's telling Jen his master plan here about how he wants to fix her.
Gotta stop your heart first, so I can replace it and fix you. My dad made this cool machine. Check it out.
He's
It's like
gonna do it with my
9
mom.
car batteries.
I want
hooked
to
up
point
to
out
a
that
fucking
his mom
panel.
had died.
Yes.
Anyway, so maybe not the best one to go with.
His dad was a genius.
But yeah, so I'm glad that you brought this up. So again, the only thing that was supposed to be run by the car batteries, right, was supposed to be the actual weird defibrillator that they've got, the homemade one or whatever, right?
Heartstopper 9000.
Where is the power to the rest of this abandoned house coming from?
He's tapped into the fucking city power
So now
grid.
he's been in the mental institute for 35 years and he knows how to do that too?
We found a book on it.
I'm just saying, it was a little crazy. But again, also the crazy thing
is another 20 minutes of the movie, him chipping away at a fucking, utility conduit.
Also the other crazy part here is that we see that this thing has its own set of batteries, right? But then later he uses it to tap together and shut the lights off.
Short all the lights. I didn't even make that connection. It's right.
How do you shut? How did it? What?
If it's batteries, why is it? So
None
the batteries weren't enough. You had to have the batteries plus the house.
You see what I mean
power?
now? None of that makes sense. Yeah.
But he stops her heart and he's starting to go.
He was just about to cut her open.
He's about to cut her.
Thank God Wright shows up. Thank God, dude.
Damn. Just in time.
Yes.
But she is technically dead. So
well, she is something. She's not dead. She comes back on her own, which means she wasn't dead.
He has to CPR.
A little bit. I don't think he was there enough to do full CPR. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is in the middle of a fight.
This is where we get he runs
backdrop,
to go.
The painted backdrop.
And it's like it goes from like surgical room. It's like it keeps getting worse. You get the nice waiting room, the kind of shitty hallway, dungeon surgical room,
and it's
medieval corridor.
Well, again, it's so crazy because from a movie point of view, it's a full studio or real hospital, whichever they got. It's either like a studio that had a set and they were going to tear it down, they got to use it first, or it was a real hospital. Because this is big and it's definitely that's what is going on. But so we've got all that, and then we see Giggles run through a back door, and when Wrights goes to check for him, it's a painted backdrop for a hallway. And so it's like, what, man, money all around for this.
They only had a day to shoot in the hospital, I guess. They didn't get that shot.
Like we said, Wrights gets her woke back up. Again, I still feel like you're giving him too much credit on it, and I just don't think that like the full amount of juice got pumped into her like he wanted.
Smacked her.
Right?
Wake
so
up,
it's like
bitch.
She was just a little bit unconscious, not like totally like flatline.
Why are you get off me?
But so Wrights gets her brought back, and he's like, just stay here. And I'm like, dude, you should have just he
picked her up and carried her the fuck out, man.
But he starts to go through looking for fucking our man, trying to figure out where he's hiding at. Has the fire already started?
No, that's
the
later.
Gas is already leaking though.
The gas. He shot at him when he's going through the thing.
So the gas is already. I knew one of the important things had already happened. The gas
is
already
where
leaking.
Max shows up magically from goddamn nowhere.
We also get you got to talk about your favorite one-liner. This is my favorite, where he after running out and finally being ready to come back, he grabs the golf club.
Oh, yeah, Giggles goes. He's like,
time to do what doctors do best, and grabs the golf
fucking
club.
9-iron.
Fuck, dude, this is my favorite, man. I love it.
It was pretty good.
But yeah, this is after he gets
because you think it's gonna be like he's gonna grab like scalpel or like that saw
alligator
thing,
saw.
Yeah, nope, fucking 9-iron. He's gonna go crack some balls.
Like you said, though, this right after that though is when Max shows up. He runs into the room and is like, "It's okay," and she's
I love you so much.
We forgot to tell him she showed up because she staggered out, even though she got told not to follow.
She wants to get the fuck out.
I know, but still. She was so
follow
weak.
Orders.
She collapsed to the ground when she stood up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the time.
Just stayed.
But so yeah, Max then gets beat with the fucking golf club drops so easy. Little bitch boy. Wrights and him start fighting. No, dude, come on. Wrights takes some hits and keeps going. Like, I mean,
He does.
that thing gets bent around him
Yeah,
and he keeps going. Max got hit in the shoulder and he dropped to the floor until it's all done.
He's not an adult man.
I'm just
yet.
saying
he's supposed to be a
we said earlier he's
16-year-old boy.
Look, we said earlier he's not a good guy. I'm just saying I think that's more evidence that he's not a good guy.
He's a little bit. He does one shot, drops like a fucking sack of bricks, and Jin has to half carry him out of the fucking room.
But
meanwhile, Reitz is fighting him tooth and nail all the way back to the fucking surgery room.
Like I said, bent. The golf club got bent around. Thankfully, she uses that to break the glass finally to get out the door that was
locked.
It was such a cheesy way to get trapped for a minute, right?
The door's locked. I can't get out.
Because again, that was such a flimsy looking door. I was like, you could open that. Come on now.
A good jerk and it would open.
Yeah, but yeah, Wrights is now in the back fighting tooth and nail. This is when the fire finally starts. He puts up a real good fight. It was one of those times where I kept thinking like he's gonna survive.
Yeah, he's gonna win because he gets the chain wrapped around him.
Well, every time, every time you think he's gonna drop, he gets the turnaround, and so you're like, all right, he's gonna make it. Nope. Fucking goddamn that bone saw.
That fucking bone saw, man.
He brings that bone saw back
and
out.
Just digs it into his spine.
Literally blood so bad, blood comes out of his mouth. Like you're like,
yeah, you're dead.
You know a wound is bad when the blood comes out the mouth, right?
That's instant death in movie land.
But yeah, so then at this point though, it's full on house fire, bad house fire.
Yeah,
because the gas was already busted and leaking.
There's also canisters of like CO2 and oxygen tanks that aren't busted. So bomb waiting to happen.
We're talking about lots. Again, there's just shooting flames.
We need to get the fuck out of this house, right?
There's shooting flames and explosions waiting to happen.
Yeah, we need.
They start running up the stairs.
And it breaks. And I appreciate the hell out of this.
I appreciate this so much because I've been waiting for it for the whole movie.
Fucking movie. Every time they step on the stairs, it kind of creaks and looks like it's going to.
We didn't spend much time to tell you how dilapidated the house was when we told you that it had been abandoned.
I honestly thought it was just cheap set.
I expected dude to drop through it. I expected Giggles is a big guy. When he walked in the first time, I expected the regular flooring to give out underneath him. It's been abandoned.
That would have been funny as fuck. As soon as he steps in the building, the floor just collapses and he falls straight to the basement. And he's like, oh, there's my dad's office. Kind of just dusts himself off.
But Max made it to the top. Jin is hanging on by Max's arms. He's trying to pull her.
Giggles gets there, grabs
this guy just can't die.
Stop.
Grabs her by the foot, tries to pull her down. She gets the best.
Gives him a good kick right in the fucking face. He takes a flat back bump into the fucking
And now it gets really crazy. And I get it. There's probably not another exit to the house. And so he just did kind of have to accept his fate, right?
Yeah.
But so they take off. And we literally just see him walk back to the operating room where the flames are the craziest. And just kind of walk around and start going insane.
Yeah, like
he just starts giggling, laughing.
I was trying to help.
Right? And I was just like, so he's just...
And we get our action movie explosion.
He's just ready to go.
I liked this. This is total.
This was a crazy explosion.
Action movie. Like they're coming out the door and they barely make it, and they both get blown off the porch. You can
literally see like metal stuff flying from where the canisters blew up. Yeah,
a lot of the budget went to this explosion.
And you think it's done because again, like that would be
over.
Typical horror movie. We killed bad guy's dead. They're alive.
Fire
we don't even need to see them again. We just need to know they made it. Right?
Fade black. We're done.
No, we get to see the hospital.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She does have the heart thing we should deal with.
Right? Again, because she should be dead.
Yeah. She should have had a heart attack 20 minutes ago, but whatever.
So they've got her at the hospital. She's about to go under surgery. She's going to have this. Again, I guess
they're putting
fix
her
it,
under. She's
right?
They're going to replace the valve or
whatever. Good on her. So much strain tonight. They forced.
Yeah, it's going to happen now.
They forced their hand. Like, you have to do it. Nope. Who shows up?
That's Dr. Giggles.
We should have known, too.
Yeah.
That bag. That goddamn doctor's bag survived the fire.
Survived the fire.
Should have been our clue. But he shows up, and he shows up in what I call his coolest form. Half-burnt face.
Half-burnt, like, mangled face.
Like, again, we already said he's from Darkman. This feels like it's from the Darkman world. The way his face looks and the shit. Oh, man. And I think
I want a movie. I want the sequel. I
think in the comic book, this might be what he looks like, too. But so he shows up. The other doctor is like, what? And
Who the hell
he goes,
are you?
Oh, I'm just here to help. He starts pulling his crazy tools.
Fucking Klingon weapons
Guy's
out?
like, what are those? Oh, I had to make them myself. I couldn't find anything that did the job I needed. He's so giddy about it. And he
But
takes
they've
the
not
one.
been
He
tested.
takes the one that literally you could tell what was about to happen,
Yeah.
right? It was literally like shaped like a head, and you could see where the little eye things were
little
at.
eye needles and shit, jams it.
And he does with it exactly.
Spring loaded even.
Yeah.
It just ching. And
Kills
right
this
into that
doctor.
doctor's face, pulls back. It's got the glasses still on it.
Jen happened to be. She was getting put under when this happened.
Yeah,
but
she
she fought it off. She
pushes the mask
amazingly
off.
knows what's going on, even though they didn't play it like she knew.
Yeah.
But she is immediately like, "Oh no!" and she's she's fighting him. This was just so insane and so crazy.
She goes and hides in the fucking like storage room.
Yes. And when she gets in there, what did she notice?
There's rubbing alcohol and a defibrillator.
I barely even noticed the alcohol the first time.
The
right?
first time, second time, it makes a very quick cut to it.
It's because the first time I was just like, "Oh, she's just gonna juice him like she got juiced."
As soon as he comes through the door, get him in the head.
That's what I was expecting. And then when he walks in and you see her hit the floor, I was like, "Oh!" And so the second time, yeah, just like you, I looked for it. And I was like, "Oh, they did give us a split second."
Clue.
But I was like, "That's an overkill, right?" It really is. But I do appreciate their attention to detail. He did not let go of the metal tool until she let go of the button on the defibrillator.
Yeah, because you
can't let go of metal. You lock up, especially on metal. Like your hand is just gonna be. I appreciated that.
That was good.
It was a good touch.
My favorite bit is after she fucking like stabs him
with the thing, the same thing.
Things. She's like, take two, call me in the morning. Boom, kills him. He fourth wall breaks, looks at the fucking audience in the theater, I guess, for 92, and is like, is there a doctor in the house?
Yes.
And then falls over and dies.
And again, it is not one of those like maybe it's not supposed to be a fourth wall break. Like it is a full on straight at the camera. Her character is standing up and he's on the floor, so his eye view would be different if he was supposed to be like saying something.
No, he's looking at you.
It is a full 100%. Again, this isn't a movie that did it constantly. This is a classic payoff for the last little bit of a joke here. He's asking for a doctor because he's the one-liner guy.
Yep.
And it was a great one-liner to end out his life
little story with. It was great.
That still, however, is not the actual end of the movie. We got a couple more minutes. I don't really think they're even worth talking about.
No, she finally gets her surgery.
We do see Dad's alive.
Dad didn't
That's
die.
the only thing that I think really needs to be said.
Yeah.
Everything else is just kind of like, okay.
He's surprisingly okay with his girlfriend being murdered. Didn't seem to bother him much.
Well, she wasn't good.
She was kind of a bitch.
Yeah, she wasn't good. The very last thing, Max shows up. They get their last goodbye kiss, and like the end is like the heart monitor again, right?
Yeah, where it starts speeding up,
just like how the beginning was a heart monitor, and it's speeding up. And I was like, "Damn it, bitch! That's been part of the focus of this movie.
You need to relax.
You still have a bad heart.
Got a new one.
I don't even know if she did, because again, that surgery was going to happen when he showed up.
That's true.
This literally is like the next morning. Did the surgery happen yet?
She might have just woken up from passing out.
Again.
Yeah. No, calm down. We haven't replaced the thing yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, this bitch needs to stop.
They cut it right before like it just turned flat where she died, and fucking Max is standing there like, oh, no.
All right, guys. This was a lot of fun. Again, remember.
I love scary movies.
First movie of October. We've got more scary movies coming for you. Before Bo gets to tell you what his first one is, we do need to go ahead and say a little bit about this Oktoberfest.
Shiners.
Again, you're going to be hearing us say this a lot this month because Oktoberfest they're all Marzen style beers. I like this.
I do.
I like Oktoberfest. It's not my
They're
favorite. I'm not trying to drink them all the time, but when it is the right time of year, it is very fall, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's got just the right. The color feels like fall. The taste is a little bit darker and richer than the.
But it's still not like a high alcohol content, so you can drink more than one of them.
It's nice. Well, again, for Oktoberfest, it needs to be light, right? Like
the
idea here is
liters and liters of the shit. It better be low percentage, right? I like it. Try it. Go try Shiner's Oktoberfest. It's got a nice bottle. I like the orange and blue color scheme.
Yeah. So you can go ahead and take it for both of the next ones. What's our next beer, and what movie do you have for us, Bo?
All right, cool. Next beer is Moeller Brew Barn.
A barn?
Oktoberfest. It's not a brewing company. It's a brew barn.
But they do brew their own.
Very specific. It's a nice Nice red barn, 2 guys that just go out there and brew beer. So none of that is true. But we're gonna do, this is my pick. We're gonna do Reanimator. Because I love that fucking movie. And another Star Trek alumni.
There we go.
Fucking Jeffrey Combs, baby.
All
You
right,
got anything
guys.
else?
No, I think that's it. I mean, everybody just be on the lookout for more of our October stuff.
All right. R.I.P. Manny Koto.
Time to do what doctors do best.